Christmas Eve, Saturday night, Premier League's back. What more do you want? Call in Kall. That's what you want. Hope you're doing very, very well. You're all very welcome to your favorite call-in show, where we discuss anything you want to discuss, where we would talk about anything that you want to talk about. Your club, your player, your transfers, your agenda, your narrative, your opinion. Don't let Bilal bully you. Don't let Grizz bully you. If you want to speak on something, you speak on it. This is your show. Speak on it. If you want our opinion, we're here for it. But really, it's all about you. I'm excited, Mr. Bilal Adel. Football is back. Well, football never went away, to be honest with you. World Cup is over. We had a couple of days off. It was straight into the Carabao Cup. I know your club wasn't involved, but my club was. We put up a bit of a spectacle in terms of a game, but Man City won comfortably in the end. Should have been more comfortable. But now the real stuff is real back. I'm excited, bro. Bring it on. What about you?
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. I'm not going to lie. Of course, the World Cup, we loved it. We're doing shows nearly every day on it, and it was fantastic viewing. Best World Cup for me in my lifetime. So, yeah, big up the World Cup for what they gave us in those few weeks. But now the serious business begins. And you know what? I said it when the Man City-Liverpool game finished. I was like, wow, today felt like club football was back. It was just a bit of a chaotic game.
Yeah.
Bit of fun. It's a Carabao Cup. Everyone's coming back fresh. But that game there just felt like, you know what? Yeah, football's back in terms of club football. And yeah, I can't wait for the season to start. Boxing Day is going to be great. I think there's some really good fixtures that we'll obviously touch on in a second. And of course, my team be coming. So
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I see a few of you legs are shaking, bro. I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. You've been on it. I'm not going to lie. You're steadfast. You know what I mean? But a lot of people with all this Gabriel Jesus talk and who else was it? There was another injury or something you got, but I don't know, man. With this
Gabriel is the main one.
Saliba talk to PSG. Obviously, we may touch on it. We may not. It's up to you.
Where did you hear that one? I didn't hear this one. Saliba talking to who?
You don't know about this one. Okay.
No. Don't worry. He ain't going nowhere. Wheeler's not going nowhere.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? French players do like a bit of PSG. You know what I mean?
He's an Arsenal fan, man. Arsenal. Listen, even when I was in Barcelona recently, honestly, I played football with about 5 French guys. All of them are Arsenal fans. There's only one team in France, let alone England. Yeah. PSG 1970 fashion club. Let's be serious here. You know,
I'm just putting it out there. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the big dogs are gonna come in for your big dogs. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, but that's a good sign when your players are getting linked to all other big top clubs in Europe. It's a good sign. For years at Arsenal, there weren't many for like 5 years. I didn't see many of our players being linked with anyone. You know, so it's a good sign when your players are starting to be linked with Real Madrid, Barcelona with Martinelli the other day. It's a good sign. That's what I want to see.
City and Liverpool.
Yeah, I want to see you guys trying to buy my players because I know that means you like what we're doing.
I'm just saying. Listen, people, any topic, any club, any agenda, you run it. Channel members get first priority and then new callers. Here's the link. The link is pinned in the chat. Click on and talk to us. Or just stare at us. You don't even have to talk to us. If you just want to sit with us and chill with us, it's all calm, it's all cool. That's what Saturday nights are about. It's a chilled, laid-back evening. Talk about anything you want. I don't know if Bilal's going to answer non-footballing questions, but I'm here for any question, to be honest with you. Let's get some comments. Captain Sal, channel member, of course, big up yourself. He says, happy holidays to the big dogs. Happy holidays to you, Sue. Big dog hype. Bro, it's real. Enzo to United, bro. Come on. With Enzo, I don't know. You're saying awful. What are you saying?
I'm saying, whoa, if Man United spend that kind of money, it was 120 million, you can get
it. The money's there. Yeah, you know what them like, but they're craving in it for players. They're craving. They'll pay anything. They paid 78 million for Anthony. They paid ridiculous money for Lisandro Martinez. We know they paid what's his name?
Casemiro 60 million.
Casemiro 60 million as well. Bro, we know they're craving for players, so they're gonna have to pay at least 15, 20 million over the odds if like a Man City or Liverpool or Real Madrid come in for them.
But it would be mad. Little Enzo, Casemiro. Listen, I'm the biggest Man United hater you'll find, but if they can get him, Boy, that'll be a statement and a half. But we'll see.
Aboy Notham says Premier League is back for rest of teams, but for Liverpool fan, same shit is back. Okay. Are you a Liverpool fan or are you another team? I don't know if he's a Liverpool fan. If he's a Liverpool fan, that's some mad, like negative thing to start off with. I don't know, man. Bellingham tomorrow. Oh, we got some breaking news. Bellingham tomorrow. Oh, he's asking the question, Eleanor. I thought, yeah, Bellingham announced tomorrow. Why would he be announced tomorrow, man?
I can announce here. Jude Bellingham will be a Borussia Dortmund player tomorrow. That's what I can tell you guys. I had them for a second. I know I had them.
You had me in the first half. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, Bill. I was spot on with that breaking news. Evenings just want Liverpool to sign Kudos ASAP. I wouldn't disagree with you, my friend. I wouldn't disagree with you. Pretty much what Eunice says, to be honest with you guys. I know there's a lot of hype. So basically, Bilal, let me fill you in with the Liverpool fucking fan media, Twitter, social media hype. So basically, every time there's a press conference when it's way before the game because of bank holiday or Christmas or festivity, what they do, they always embargo. They cut off a bit of news to save it for the day before. Because obviously they're not going to ask the club, they're not going to ask the manager to do a press conference on the day before, which is going to be Christmas Day, right? So what they do is they chop it up, and they do that for all the time in terms of these kind of situations. Everyone's jumped on it and said, yo, embargo news, that means we're signing. When the fuck did we ever announce a player? Or when the F did we ever announce a takeover in a press conference for a game? Guys, like, I mean, I don't want to, no, but you get what I mean? It's like, come on, some of you are not even kids that are asking these questions on Twitter and believing accounts that are saying, yeah, embargoed, breaking news, we're going to announce players. Come on, guys, man. I don't even know what to say to you lot. Guys, this is what Eunice, guys, calm down, please. It's just a normal embargo like always. You think Klopp's going to sit there? Yes. Very hard game against Villa tomorrow. Yes. Anyway, we have signed Jude Bellingham. Like, when have you ever seen anything like that? Make it make sense, bros. But it is what it is, man. Do you know what I mean? Salah's Christmas post, man. Yeah, look, Salah's Christmas post, man. What do you want me to say about that, man? Salah's wishing
the new one.
Yeah, well, he's gonna do it. That's what he does, isn't it? Now he does it to wind people up.
Yeah, definitely.
Abel says, Grizz, what do you think of Memphis or Kudos to Liverpool?
I heard Memphis apparently said he's staying at Barca.
Yeah, but I take both.
What, Memphis you need the bodies or
yeah. Memphis would be in a case of bodies now on loan, maybe see how he performs, see if he's got a point to prove against Man United because he flopped there, like a Mohamed Salah at Chelsea's type scenario, right? And Kudos for me is the unicorn that we're looking for. Like, he can play left, he can play right, he can play through the middle, he can play as an 8. Bro, Kudos, you know what I mean?
Kudos, definitely. Liverpool should be going all out for him. I think I said it was a week ago. I said Liverpool and Newcastle are the two teams that I look at Kudos. Like, in terms of going to a team that are big team, gonna try and do things in the future. I think those two teams should be the teams that he targets. So yeah, definitely Liverpool should be in for him 100%.
Super chat from Ash. Big up yourself, Ash. He says United forward line. Gakpo, Sancho, Anthony, Martial, and then he does a sick emoji.
You missed that.
Self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
Or are you feeling that?
No. I've been saying I hope they sign Gakpo, obviously, just so I can see not Gakpo, Anthony, Martial. No, I wanted to see Rashford, Gakpo, and Elanga. I need to see this chaos. You know, once in my life, just one game, Ten Hag, please, just let me watch the funny touches, them chasing for the ball. I just need to see all of it. So yeah, I don't know. Gakpo, I know we're not the biggest fans of him, but he has got some good qualities. I don't really see how he fits into Man United right now. Yeah, when I talk about Gakpo, everyone suddenly thinks I think he's shit. No, I just don't think he's elite or like close to world class yet. There's attributes that he can work on, and he's got a very, very good technique, which is always a good foundation. I don't see nothing else.
The rest of the people know what I think of Sancho, know what I think of Anthony, know what I think of Martial. So say no more, man. Say no more. Yeah, me too, man. I'm not sold on it. That's all it is, man. I'm not sold on it. Nice guy says Grizz is in denial. That's exactly what is going to happen. Okay, enjoy the embargoed news tomorrow then. Checkers Dave says Grizz, is Ivan Shortkoff news reliable? Look at the name, Checkers Dave. He's so obviously created a parody account. And my breaking exclusive news is this guy will come out soon and say how he had the whole of LFC Twitter wrapped around his figure. And he's going to take the piss out of everyone that's asking him and begging him for information and updates. Everything. He's going to do it. And he's going to make all of you lot. He's going to actually laugh and say, yeah, you know what? I done an experiment, social media experiment. And I came out with something. And people were so thirsty for transfer news. And I used to give it every 20 minutes. I don't know if you know about this guy, Bilal. He's a Liverpool.
I think I've seen him, but yeah, I'm not that familiar, to be honest.
So basically, he's one of these guys that look at his name. Look at the name. He's Ivan Schwarzkopf. Yeah, and he's got a cartoon as his profile picture, and he's been caught out saying all kinds of stuff in the past. But he's fun, you know. He actually DM'd me saying I love your work and everything, and I said I love your work too because it's a kind of content, isn't it? What he's doing is he's got 40,000 followers nearly, and he brags about it. He says, "Look how many followers I've got," and he loves it, and he's great at what he does. You know, he's funny, he's humorous, he does little hints, cryptic hints, and people are begging him all kinds of, like every half an hour, people are saying, "Any update on Jude?"
As if a transfer is going to happen that quickly. But you know what? Once in a while, a Twitter account can come out of nowhere and tell you info. We had one at Arsenal. He got into the point. He got like I think Arsenal like found a way to like get him off the internet.
Was it
it was a guy with a belt, was it? AFC. We had a guy called AFC Bell.
No
one knew who he was, some Arab guy. He was definitely an Arab guy from wherever.
It can 100% happen because all you need is one connect. You need one connection. You need to know one guy that can. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to brag, but, you know, I've built up a following because people know that I'm pretty consistent and accurate. You know what I mean? With some of the information I break. Obviously, people are on tender hooks about Jude Bellingham and see if Grizz is right in 2022. You're going to find out in 2023. You're going to have to wait a whole week or onwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To find out.
So what do you think Liverpool? Do you think Liverpool will sign a midfielder then? Because Enzo, money-wise, for me, I think for any club, maybe Man United, the kind of club who will spend that kind of money on just one midfielder. Bellingham, we know Summer is more likely.
Yeah,
Caicedo maybe then becomes.
Yeah, I think we're going to sign someone very early on. I think we're going to announce them very early on. At the moment, I haven't got a name. There's no point in me trying to make up something here right now. If I did, I would have probably tweeted it or something. I had very early intel on Darwin Nunez. I had very early intel on Mohamed Salah definitely signing the new deal. When everyone was adamant, he's gone, he's not signing. And there are quite a few bits and bobs. Calvin Ramsey I had early before everyone else. So what I know is we're definitely signing someone. Definitely. In fact, we're probably going to announce him very early in the window. But I haven't got a name as of yet, as of now. Sorry. I'd love Caicedo. I know we're in for him. I know we're going to try for him. I don't know how far that's gone down the line yet. What day is it? You got to remember, all my guys are off. Yeah, they're going to come back to work.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to come back to work second week of January. End of first week of January. I may have something then. It may be announced by then. We don't know. We don't know.
We just wait.
Exactly. Big up, lads. Call it on Argentina winning it. Oh, this is our Indian Scouser. Yes, bro. I've got receipts saying they'd reached the finals from early on. Merry Christmas, yo. Listen, are you having that? Like, is that a big up to say Argentina going to reach the final? That's not really a big up, is it? Like, we all had.
It depends. Argentina. Yeah, we actually had Argentina in the final when we did our first draft. Yeah. I know we started messing around in the other ones. Yeah. But the very first one before the tournament, we had Argentina. We had an Argentina-England final, actually, which maybe was possible. We had England-France. I think we all went with our hearts for that one. We said, "Oh, England will win." Obviously, they nearly did. So you never know. Maybe it could have happened. Ended up being Argentina, France in the end.
Yeah, it's not a big
And
call.
I think everyone was kind of happy that Argentina won, though. Well, most people for Messi, unless you're, I don't know, the biggest Cristiano Ronaldo fan ever, and you've got some agenda against Messi. But yeah, I think everyone was just buzzing about that. But there's so many players that are coming out of Argentina squad. Obviously, Enzo, McAllister. Talking about my guy, McAllister. I need him, please. Please, Mikel, is he watching? Send this to him. I need McAllister. Put the bid in. What a player. But yeah, even Rodrigo de Paul, we were slandering him, I think, during the group stages, and then turned into an absolute monster towards the end. So yeah, big up the Argentina team. The only thing, I don't know, do you think about their celebrations? Some of it was a little bit...
OTT, emotional, passionate, a bit... What's the word? Yeah, controversial. No, not controversial.
Yeah, there were some looked a little suspicious. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. There were some funny things as well, like the actual people. They were put. Honestly, I don't know if some people actually injured themselves severely. Like people were falling off rooftops.
Sorry. You mean the national celebration?
Oh yeah, I just mean in general. I mean, of course, like Emi Martinez, people saying too much over the top.
Yeah,
but then the actual scenes within the country themselves, understandably, people were absolutely buzzing.
What does it? What's no beats mean? Who won the World Cup teams?
I'm not sure. No.
Oh no, he means the draft. He means the draft that we done the other day. The best World Cup. It was me, clearly.
Oh. Yeah. Jogged my memory. Let me.
Yeah. Can we just please announce that I whipped your asses like quite comprehensively? You don't have to bring it up. You can bring it up when you want, if you want. But no, you know what one, bro. No, come on. There was only going to be one winner.
You see why I forgot? I didn't win. That's why I forgot. I didn't remember, innit? You know.
Yeah, that kind of shit happens. We had a caller. He's just gone off. I don't know if he's lost his connection, but hopefully she'll be back. He said he's going to be back, so he's lost his connection. People, we will be starting taking calls in around 5 to 7 minutes. So get in your calls. Your links are in the description, as I said, to get in and come in and talk to us, man. We have Mo in the building. Mo in the chat. Mo, if you want to come in as well. I read your message late as well. I know you WhatsApp me. But come in as well, free. Oh, I think he's having issues with his internet. Our first caller, but we'll give him a few minutes. As you can see, guys, I was Team C.
Conroy was Team A.
That's a whooping, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Messi tax.
Come on.
No. I'm a sore loser. So wait, let's get you. We'll get with Conroy's team. He was second place. This was his team.
Okay.
Giroud, Kudus, Bruno up front.
What let him down, do you think? People must have seen... I don't know. What do you reckon? I'm not feeling that.
Maybe lack of width, maybe. You know, you're relying on Dumfries and Estepinian. The midfield, of course, is class. But maybe the attack as well, not as strong. But, you know, every team kind of, because of the way we did it and the rules that we had, like, you're going to create an OP team in every position. So, yeah, that was, you know.
So he finished second?
Yeah, he finished second in the end.
Okay.
This is my team. I finished third, you know.
Okay, understandable. I'm surprised you finished third. I think what's let you down is your centre-backs. You went way too hipster with your centre-backs. No, you did.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the rest of your team looks sick.
Yeah,
what made you go so hipster with your centre-backs, man? Lost it there.
They'll do a job. They're good, like Tomiyasu, Militao. They're good on the ball. They're strong. They can win the headers, the tackles. Let the other guys up front playing Amrabat in the middle, just like, man, I feel like I had a bit of everything in my team. And of course, look at that front five. Who wouldn't want to see that? McAllister,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Saka,
it was just your for me. It was your centre backs that you really tried to go a bit too. You know,
I think that's what it cost me as well.
Get this out of here. Get this team out of here. Who finished last?
Well, before we get to who finished last, man, let's just look at your team first.
Come on, people already know. People, what do you think, guys? There's obviously it's over. You can't vote now, but come on, guys. Like, okay, Ramos, I got away with. I didn't think people are gonna rate my Ramos signing. People, in case you don't know, it was the Portuguese striker that came in and banged a hat trick. But the rest of the team, Hakimi, that Robinson from USA, bad boy fullback. Van Dijk, Kim, Szczesny was a great shout earlier on from me. And my midfield, come on. Caicedo, Kovacic, Casemiro.
Yeah,
you having a laugh?
It's a very all round. I can see why they would lean towards your team, to be honest. You know, you got the defense, you got the midfield, and then you got the out of all the teams, probably the most balanced. And then in last place, sorry, Omar, if you're watching. And this was Omar's team.
Rightly so as well. It's like, come on, are you mad?
I rewatched the stream like for a few minutes when I was just like clipping stuff up. I was just like, I said to Omar, your team's deteriorated, man. Right at the end, like deteriorated. Like it started off well, and then everything just collapsed.
Do you know what? It did start off well. Do you remember he went for Gvardiol, Dallo? We thought, okay, we like that. Alisson. We thought, okay, he's building the foundations for a decent outfit here. But then he just, I don't know what happened to him. Emil Heskey saying, Grizz, are you doing this from the shower? Come on, people, man. You already know this is that lighting thing, man. It's that lamp thing, man. Look, it's not a shower, man. Look, hold on. You see that? See that? It's some lighting, brother. Come on. You already know. But I hear you. It looks like a shower head and that. It's all good. AJ says, are you mad? Are you seriously telling me we only got 15 likes?
Well, that's got to be a glitch, guys.
Yo, is that a glitch? What are you saying? I don't know what you're doing. AJ, bro, thank you for reminding me, bro. Come on. Are you lot mad? 15 likes. Come on, man. Smash a like.
I'm seeing around 52 right now, but
where's the spirit? Guys. Where's the spirit? The Christmas spirit and all of that festive season thing, man. Come on. Get on with it, man.
They're not feeling charitable today.
120 kg Afghan. That's a serious name. That profile is serious, bro. I want to be your friend, bro. I want to be on your side.
Arsenal need you as a DM, bro.
No. I don't want to be against. I would not like to be against this guy, bro. I'm telling you, 120 kg Afghan, that's a serious beard. No, Bilal. No, you laugh, but you wouldn't be laughing if the brother was
listen, I've met Afghans, man. Even the most unassuming ones, man, they're fighters.
But this picture, bruv, man, mashallah, we say mashallah. We say that picture is serious, bro. He says Grizz looks like Man United are going for Enzo Fernandez and Gakpo. Oh, Enzo Fernandez and Gakpo. Looks like they are, bro. What can I say? Good luck to them. I think they'll get Gakpo. I think they'll get Gakpo. I don't think they'll get Enzo. If they do, that is some serious coup for them. Surely, right, Bilal?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, they're going to have to spend that. If it's January, especially, you're going to spend that. I think the release clause isn't from January, right? Or just is it from the summer? I'm not too sure.
No,
because
that's a release
from
clause.
January.
Yeah, cool. 120 million euro. You can talk to him right there, straight up.
Yeah. That's a crazy profit by Benfica. They signed him for 12 million. I know they have to give River Plate like 25 million or something like that.
25%.
25%, yeah. If that sort of money is reached. But man, in a few months, he just flipped a player that quickly and got that kind of money. Unbelievable.
Sawtooth Red says, Merry Christmas, Reds. This transfer window is one of the most important in club's history. Let's get it done properly. I think the summer will be the most important in Klopp's history. I think the summer window will be the most important in Klopp's history. That's my opinion. January is vital and is very important that we bring in at least a body. But overall, I think this summer will be the most significant and important. And in my humble opinion, it will probably be the most we've ever spent in a transfer window. I think. I'll double check.
The summer window.
Yeah, the summer window.
Yeah, of course.
Summer window. Rohan sends in a super chat, but I think he forgot to add the thing. So I'm assuming, appreciate the support. I'm assuming this was attached to it. Yo, Grizz, thought we were close. We were close on Caicedo at the end of the summer. We made a bid for him in the last 10 days of the window. Obviously, it was too late and Brian didn't want to sell. I believe we're going to make another effort, if we haven't already, for Caicedo in January. If we get him over the line, I'm so happy. More than you can believe, Bilal. You know what I think about Caicedo, bro? I've been telling you, I've been doing your head in about Moises Caicedo and how for me, he's on top of my wish list. Okay, Jude, and him, I can't decide between. But even above Enzo Fernandez, I want Moises Caicedo. There, I've said it.
And the good news for Liverpool is apparently he's only on like 3,500 a week. It's not massive wages at all.
But then
And
anyone can offer him mad wages, though.
Yeah,
it's about where he wants to go, isn't it?
No, but I mean, like, it'll be in the sense of his agent, you know, he'll definitely be pushing for a move. He knows he can join Liverpool, earn more money, etc., etc. And Brighton, obviously, the thing is with Brighton, just even if he's on 3,500, they'll still ask for more than 50 million. It starts with, if you want a Brighton player who's in form, it starts at 50 million, and then you work from there. I've not seen them really sell players of recent, you know, under that price. I know Ben White was 50 million. I think Cucurella was even more, maybe 60 million in the end. So Caicedo, you imagine he's probably going to be in that region as well in terms of his price. But yeah, it'll be an unbelievable signing if you guys got him in. And Fabinho, he looked all right the other day. I know you wasn't, you know, you're not the biggest fan. But
no. See, don't start that, man. I'm going to get beat up in the comments and start, man. People are going to start saying like, oh my God, my guys, like how you writing off Fabinho, like saying he's awful. That I'm a massive fan of Fabinho. I just don't think, and I said it for Mane, I said it for Gini, I've controversially said it for Van Dijk and Fabinho as well. And all I've said is I think we've seen the best of them. I don't know why that's so hard for people to take. Like that we've seen the best of them. I'm not saying that, you know, they're still not great players. I don't think they will peak any further than they have already.
I agree with that for Van Dijk 100%. I think he's not going to reach those levels. The levels he showed at his, that's ridiculous. I'm not seeing that again. Yeah, Fabinho though, I feel like he can get back and close to it. It's just about getting a midfield that's competent enough around him, who's got the legs, who's got the energy to make him tight. That number 6 role for Liverpool is one of the hardest jobs that you can find. You know, trying to glue everything together and just all the stress. Imagine playing in that position. So. I know you said, I don't know if it was you who said it. Is he 28? Some people questioning his age.
29.
Okay, 29. Maybe getting on. Some people adding a few more years to him. But yeah, we'll see. If you guys obviously get Caicedo in, that will help a lot.
Fuad says, Grizz, as a Liverpool fan, would you take Toni Kroos if he leaves Madrid next summer and pair him with Thiago Alcantara? Our midfield is going to be solid. It's going to be slow.
And Toni Kroos, Thiago, trying to play in Klopp's shot. Run!
Nah.
Press!
Fuad.
Come on, boss.
Toni Kroos is sick. You know what I mean? No way am I going to put down Toni Kroos. But yeah, those days are long gone for Toni Kroos, man. You know what I mean? Are very, very good, massive, huge contributor to the channel. Yo, what's good? Is in the chat again. Thank you very much for your support, bro, from the start of my channel. You're a very, very valued member. He says, hope you guys are in good spirits. Merry Xmas, Grizz. Would Brighton be open to letting Caicedo go in January? I don't know. If so, ballpark in Jan. Bro, money talks, man. Money talks. And especially when the player wants to move, then definitely money and player power talks. Combine the two, put in a bid of around 50 million, and we can get cracking with Caicedo. They're going to want 60 million. We're going to want to pay maximum 50. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Appreciate the love and support. Okay. I think it's time to bring in some callers. What are you saying, bro? We can start talking about. I know we were supposed to talk about some certain teams, but we can talk about it when the players, because we've got people lining up now to come in, so we can start talking to them. The first call is going to be Joel Wafula. Hope I haven't butchered your name, my brother. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you guys doing, Grizz?
We're doing absolutely amazing, my bro. Tell us where you're calling from and what's your team.
Right, man. Calling from Derby. Team's Arsenal. So yes. But I will say this, Grizz. I appreciate your content, man. Really, really good. You know, there's a sense of community, sense of banter, but also you can see there's conscious thought, you know, emotionally, like how you have the panel, you know, after games, before games, even this show here with Bilal, like there's real good chemistry. So thank you, man.
No. Your words are way too kind. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Listen, I started off this channel a year pretty much ago. And just with the idea of getting like-minded people.
Yeah.
And then trying to create a little community, as you said, chat football, have joke, be serious when you need to be serious. Mix it all up, and see what we can do. And then so far, by the grace of God, is doing well, man. But you know, what I mean, thank you very much for your kind words, man. But another gooner, Bilal. Joe, what do you want to say, man? Wait, are you like excited to get back? What's the plans for Arsenal, man? What's the plans?
Here's what I will say, right? And it's really fascinating watching the Liverpool. I'm interested to hear Bilal's thoughts. Interesting watching Liverpool Man City. In my opinion, that's still the hottest game in town. No matter where Liverpool, the tempo is unbelievable. I don't think there's any other game in England that, as I don't know about Europe, but in England, that's that hot. Tempo-wise, on the sidelines. So here's my question for you, Grizz. What was your thoughts when you saw Man City bring on Foden, Bernardo Silva, and who was the third substitute, man? Jack Grealish. Kyle Walker was still sat on the bench.
You want to know my thoughts? So, you know? Yeah, my thoughts were, yeah, this is what it is. These are the big dogs, man. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Man City have spent the best part of what under Pep last 5 years building up this squad, and this is what, as a result of building up the squad, when you've got £50 million players spread throughout your squad, your subs bench, this is what you can do, man. You can bring on Grealish, 100 million. You can bring on Foden through the ranks. Kyle Walker, about 30, 40 million back in the day, which was a lot of money for a fullback back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you can do, bro. This is what you can do. And they picked their strongest lineup as well. They picked the rest of the team. That midfield was the first choice. You're talking Gundogan, KDB, and Rodri. And we decided to go there with 3 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, give or take 1 year. Not older, but younger. Bejic, I think, is about 17, 18. Elliot, same. Carvalho, same. We were going to get bullied, but at the end of the day, it was Klopp's call, Klopp's decision. I agree with your first part. I'm going to let Bilal speak what he thinks. I definitely agree. Liverpool Man City is still the big game, like in terms of pace, energy, tactical awareness, technique. You know, of course, we're sixth. There's no hiding from it right now. But I agree with you. Overall, it's still a big game. But Arsenal have shown, especially against us in that early game, and I believe you've got Man City coming up. If you want to be considered serious, you're gonna have to hold it, right? Hold your own with these guys, Bilal. It's true what Joe's saying, right?
Yeah, 100%. Man City and Liverpool had the games for the last few years. We've seen how they've been competing head to head. Arsenal, for the last 5 years, probably the worst period I've seen Arsenal in my life. And then in that period, Man City and Liverpool have kicked on to the point where most of those games between Arsenal and Man City have not been competitive at all. Getting battered at Anfield, at the Etihad, and then losing at home to them a lot of the times as well. So there's not been a game that we can really say like, oh, maybe this game has shown that Arsenal are on that level with the Man City and Liverpool, until maybe last year was maybe a bit of a glimpse, that New Year's Day game against Man City, where I know Arteta had COVID and we had Airport Albert on the sideline. But that game, I think, gave a lot of belief, you know, to the Arsenal fans that we can go toe-to-toe with Man City. And that wasn't with the signings of, obviously, Jesus, I know he's injured now, but with the players and the improvements, obviously, of the likes of Martinelli, Saka, etc. So, yeah, maybe if Arsenal can beat Man City, because I think Arsenal have to beat Man City to actually really believe that, you know what, first of all, you can win the league, number one, and then number two, you can.
Where's the first encounter?
I believe it's at the Emirates. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll double check.
If it's at the Emirates, if you beat them, are you still gonna start believing, or is it still too early?
Yeah, it's at the Emirates because it was meant to be played in November. But it's going to be February 15th now. They booked it as I can see.
February's not far.
But there's a lot of big games in that run-up before. West Ham next, obviously. Brighton, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, Everton, Brentford, then Man City. So, like, in that period, there's still a lot of big clashes to happen before that City game.
And let's say you go into that game with, let's just say, about a 3-point lead, right? And you beat them. What are you still going to talk to? What are you still going to say if I ask you, are you in a title race now? Because that would be February the 15th, you're saying. Yeah, Joel, what are you going to say to me?
I think you mentioned that word, or the two words, big dogs. And I still think After watching the game on Wednesday, this is not to put Arsenal down. It's a different level, man. I think so far Arsenal done great, but when the heat really comes up, and I'll say this too: when people mock Liverpool have no Diaz, no Jota, and who else is missing up front?
No Diaz, no Jota, no Virgil, no Konate,
who else is
no
here?
Trent.
Right, all those players are injured at the same time. If Arsenal had anything similar, I guarantee you we will be where Liverpool are right now, between 6th and 10th. So I just think at the moment Arsenal got really lucky with injuries, no doubt about it. In terms of how that's been managed, we've been lucky. But I think comes up in January how the team can invest, and then from there. But I'm talking serious depth because the road is long. I mean, what do you think, Bilal? What players would you sign? Because I look at the substitute bench like I'm looking at from the day for Man City, and so it was very telling in those two teams, right? Liverpool are in crisis injury wise. I mean, they're trying to stay afloat. Man City, crazy depth.
Yeah,
that's the real test there. And for me, that game, I thought that's the real test. You know what? Liverpool was still in the game. I mean, once they played, Liverpool were in the game, so to speak. Man City were absolutely doing incredible things from the bench. They're absolutely stuck. So Arsenal, who do three players that Arsenal signed that they can stay afloat in this race?
3
for you.
Yeah, I would say we do need 3 players as well. I would like to 100% be secure and feel very comfortable, and that would be a centre mid, a winger, and a striker. 100%. If you got those 3 players in the squad, for me, then is ready to compete on all fronts this season. So I've put my 3 players out there. I know Arsenal really want Mudryk, and I think it's going to happen. But for me, honestly, I saw a poll today. I think I saw more than 80% of Arsenal fans said they want Mudryk over Joao Felix, etc. But I want Joao Felix first. For me, that would be my first option. Get him in, false 9, even if it's a 6-month loan and you have to negotiate with Atleti at the end of the season. I will get Joao Felix in. And then the next player, I mentioned him earlier, that I would really love Arsenal to sign, man, and that's McAllister. I think I look at him, been watching him for months at Brighton. I just this guy is such an Arsenal player.
Are we talking January, people? Are you lot being real?
Yeah, no. This is we're talking title races. The Arsenal fans want to
but show some realism in it.
But
first, it's not happening, is it?
No. First of all, he asked me what I want. So I'm
you
telling you
want Mbappe. You might as well go kill.
No.
Killy.
Okay, of course. Realistic. 2025, but we won't talk about that until another few years. But really and truly, Joao Felix, £8 million loan fee. You pay his wages 6 months. That's a doable deal. Of course, reports coming out now. Even I think Fabrizio Romano said yes, there's been talks with George Mendes about this. So hopefully George Mendes, Edu, cook up something. Bring me Joao Felix. Of course, Mudryk looks the most likely player that's going to come in, and him with Martinelli rotating on that left side. Smith Rowe's going to come back as well. Don't forget. But one point you made that I actually, forget the transfers. In terms of just football, I look at Arsenal's team, and I think defensively, when we have our first 11 and we're playing week in, week out, defensively, we've been so good this season. I look at our players. Look at Man City the other night. I honestly, before that game, I looked at the lineups. I'm like, oh, Man City today, 3-0, comfortable win. But every time, they just seem to be so vulnerable at the back. And I know some of these players have just come back. But even before the season, had that break. Man City, have they not looked to you that you can really get at them? That defense that they've got isn't as solid as it has been for many years. And I can see the likes of Arsenal when we match up against Man City, and you've got Martinelli, and you've got Saka, and if you even got an Nketiah who can run around with this Smith Rowe, the problems you could cause them on the attack, and then Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, all of these guys party in them. I think we've got a really strong team. So to be honest, I'm more optimistic than you. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not. I think maybe you're a bit. I don't know. You can tell me. Are you a bit stained or by the past years? Arsenal have had title races before. Oh wait, Eduardo gets injured, everything dies. True. That was one of the best Arsenal teams of the Emirates era in terms of the football.
Yeah.
The Leicester season where Leicester won the league. Arsenal beat Leicester twice that season, still didn't win the league. We've had these seasons before where we've been close, and whether the January transfer window comes, we don't get what we want. But I think now, Grizz is saying, you're being unrealistic. I think the reason Arsenal fans are trying to demand this is because 5 points clear at Christmas against Man City. Look, Joe just told us they brought on who? Foden, Bernardo,
Foden, but
Alvarez is on partying, so obviously he's not gonna be there.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come
they've
on,
got the depth. So we need that investment 100% just to shore everything up. I agree.
Yeah. So,
sorry, go ahead.
Grizz, where do you think 3 players that Liverpool realistically need to get? What do Liverpool need? 3 things that Liverpool need to do in January for them to top 4, so that they are set for next season.
January is tough. It's not anything I say is going to sound unrealistic because of the January factor. Clubs don't want to release their players. Our history in terms of going big in January, even though we've bought significant players in the past in January.
Yeah.
It's an awkward time to do massive big business. But can I cheat and say just give me 3 players or positions? Rather than just January. So I could just three players. So if I could just cheat with your question, I would eyes closed say Jude, Caicedo, Mohamed Kudus, and we're cooking.
Hey, come on.
We're cooking. I'm telling you, next season we're already there. People are fearing us. The fear of the big dogs is back in there. Caicedo, I get the Enzo hype. Enzo is a baller.
Yeah.
I get Amrabat has performed heroically in the World Cup. I get all of that. And obviously there's been many other players that have performed well and been linked with us. But me personally, as a personal choice, because you asked me my personal choice, give me Jude, give me Caicedo, give me Mohamed Kudus. I think we're cooking something next season. But let's see. It's going to be an interesting January, a very interesting summer for both clubs. Of course it is. I think you guys will fall off. I'm not going to lie. The Gabriel Jesus injury was a massive blow for you guys. I think Partey is key. Partey is absolute key to you guys staying fit. And after that, we see how it goes. You're going to definitely invest in January. It looks like Mudryk is near enough, pretty much nailed on to you guys. That would be interesting because he's quite a talent. I think you guys are still front runners for Tielemans in the summer. That's 2. And then the rest, we see how it goes. But nice speaking to you, Joel. Thank you very much for being the first caller of the night, my man.
Grizz, thank you so much, Bilal. Thank you.
Yeah. Big up, man. Big up.
All the best. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye. Oh, no, man. See what I mean? A lot of your fans don't believe in you lot yet, man. But I understand. Understandably so. 100%. It's true, though, isn't it? It's like, you're not ready yet.
We're ready. We just need that number 9 to come in. That honestly, for me, you get that Joao Felix in, and I think people start calming down a little bit. I know Mudryk is probably going to be the guy that comes in first, but we get a striker to come in to help Eddie for maybe 8 weeks, let's say, because Jesus might come back. They're saying end of February now, March time. Let's just say, if Arsenal can just keep on progressing for another few months, Jesus comes back, everything looks good again. So that's the way I'm looking at it. It's more positive for me than negative. I can't be negative right now. Top of the league.
No.
The Premier League's back. I can't. If I'm negative now, honestly, when am I going to?
100%. That's a wicked. You know what? I love that. I love that positivity and thing. If you're not going to enjoy your team when you're doing well, when the fuck are you going to enjoy them? Like success is not constant.
Exactly.
For any team. You enjoy it. We've got enough misery in our lives when our teams are not winning. So when they're winning, we can't be saying, "Oh, but what if?" Whilst you're winning as well, like deal with that when it's there, innit? Like you got no influence.
100%. And you know what?
No influence on your board. You're not going to decide we need to invest. Oh no, we need to invest. Otherwise, we can't sustain. Let the people that run your club and have an effect on your club do it. You're a supporter. Support. Be happy when you're winning. Be angry when you're losing. Do you know what I mean? Be reflective when you're drawing.
Exactly. And honestly, a big reason for that, last year especially, I know Liverpool fans were tired probably of this whole Man City thing going to war with them nearly for, I don't know how, 3-4 years, right? But all of the Liverpool people that I knew around me as well, they just seemed to not be enjoying the moment. Like they were nearly doing the quadruple. I'm like, bro, just like enjoy. You could win the league, you could win the Champions League, like just enjoy it. But the whole time, a lot of the Liverpool friends that I had, they were just coming to me like, I'm so stressed. Like, honestly, I'm just thinking about Man City. We can't stop these guys, juggernauts. They've got too much money. I'm like, nah, that's not the approach to have at this point. I feel like you should be positive.
I went to 3 of the 4 finals that we were in
Mhm.
and had the best time. Well, not in the Champions League final because we lost, but I went there and tried to enjoy every single moment for what it was worth. The semi-finals, I was at Wembley as well.
Yeah.
The finals, I was at Wembley. Days out. This is what we live and support for, not live for. You know what I mean? Well, some people live for, but obviously there's other things in life. You know what I mean? Astaghfirullah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But these are the things these are the reasons why we support our teams to be in positions like this. Because as I said, success ain't guaranteed for no one.
100%.
Death is the only thing that's guaranteed, bro.
As deep as that is, true is true. Even when you go back to like, you're right. And this is football, man. Fine margins. Like, if you're not going to enjoy your team, then even Man United is in treble winning season, right? Arsenal could have easily won the double that year, but they flopped. And then Man United won the treble. Like, if you're not going to enjoy those sort of moments, you're going to be stressed throughout that whole time and not take things as they come. Are you going to really enjoy anything? Or are you always going to be a pessimistic, unhappy individual? So just have fun, man. It's football. It's back. And we get so much football nowadays as well. The games are coming thick and fast. I think we just have to, I think everyone just needs to relax, enjoy the games, support your team, and just see where it gets you. Stressing about transfers and all of that, it's long.
100%. Relax, enjoy your teams, subscribe, like you haven't. You understand? Football Khanage is going to bring you some mad content this year. We only just started, man. Bilal, I don't know if they know. They should know. We've only just started, and this year, I should say, was just a learning curve for us. We've got so much in our headspace, man, and we're gonna bring it to you, man. It's not only gonna be Liverpool, so calma. Of course, Liverpool's my love and passion. It's gonna be for sure Liverpool dominated, but we're gonna try to cover as many clubs as possible, European football, all kinds of football. So like the stream right now if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to bring in the next caller, and it's good. We've got another contributor who's been a very valuable contributor throughout the season. He's been on a few times before. Michael, hope you're doing very well, my man.
As we say in Finland, hyvää joulua, happy holidays to you guys. Obviously, you know, I'm in America actually. You know, 2 days ago it was minus 25 Celsius here. It was freezing.
Minus 25.
Yeah, there's a crazy like a storm coming through all of America. It's cold everywhere. Yeah, but now it's nice and warm. At least plus 15 today, so nice and relaxing.
How did it got from minus 25 to plus 15 in a matter of days?
Yeah, like in 2 to 3 days. Yeah, because I live by the mountain. I visit in the mountains, so that's why the weather just changes like that. It's crazy.
I can't imagine that, Bilal. Can you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had my VPN was set to America, and I just kept seeing this hashtag rolling blackout. So I knew something was up in America.
Yeah, bro. It was a blackout everywhere. You know, in Calgary, you know, Canada, right?
Yeah.
Calgary was minus 40 Celsius there the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
Celsius, so minus 40
Celsius. Yep.
Yeah, so bury me, man. Like, I can't take it,
bro, man. I don't even know how they're playing football today, American football. But yeah, look, man, it's nice. Football, I guess football is back, even though I don't really want it to be back, to be honest, Grizz. I'm not feeling Liverpool at the moment, man. I can't. After that performance on Wednesday, again, it's just the same old with us. We can't defend, but we can score. And then we have Darwin, man. I don't know what to say about this guy.
Say what you feel. Say what you feel. Say what you think.
Well, when we signed him at first, I said this was a bad deal. Even if he cost 50 million or 40 million, it was a bad deal. This guy's raw talent. When you come to Liverpool, and especially now under Jurgen Klopp and FSG, it's a win now. We're buying a guy for the future. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And clearly you can just tell it's a confidence thing with him. It's all confidence. He's rushed. When he has too much time and he overthinks it. When it's a rush shot like that, where it's a split decision, he's good at it. But when he has time and focus and try and pick out a corner, the one chance he had, what was it, in the 78th minute, where he didn't even hit on target? Oh, that was, I couldn't believe it. I watched the highlights of the game. I'm like, Darwin, just calma, por favor. You just, patience is a virtue, as they say in school. That's what he needs. He needs to just focus on the net, and that's my biggest issue with Darwin. He does everything very well. Maybe he's not the most elegant of footballers, right? But he just needs to get some confidence in this game. And I can't lie, I'm stressed for Liverpool. I'm feeling like we're going to Conference League. We're going to play in Estonia, Finland, Gibraltar, Malta, and all these places next season. I'm really not feeling it at the moment. Look, hey, if they come to Finland, I'll go watch. But that's not the time I want to see Liverpool. So I'm a little bit down on us because all the injuries we got. I don't think we're going to do a lot of transfer business. Like, I hear you, like Grizz, you would take Jude Bellingham over Enzo, would you?
Jude Bellingham over Enzo for what we need, yes.
Okay. Because I personally would take Enzo. I just think he's the better footballer, and I think he can definitely help us more. Like, Jude is a very good player. Like, if people would say, like, oh my God, how do you not think Jude? Jude is a very good player. But personally, for me, I would take Enzo. I just think he finds a pass better than most players in the world. I really do. I think. Go ahead.
Look, there's no. You know, when people ask you questions like this, automatically people always assume that the player that you didn't pick, you think is shit.
Exactly.
So, you know, no, Enzo Fernandez has shown himself. But for what we need in terms of a dynamism, energy, physical attributes, which we're lacking.
Can I just interject for a second? Sorry. That, you know, I'll hear like a lot of British pundits and you guys say like physicality. Well, look at Man City's midfield. Is it a very physical midfield in your opinion, except for Rodri? Look at Bernardo Silva. The guy's made out of a stick.
I know, but what I was going to end by saying was and a level of technique that for 19-year-old he's shown he has that as well in an abundance. Jude Bellingham is a unicorn of a player for me. Like Jurgen Klopp described him as the golden cow. He can do a bit of everything. And at the age of 19, he's showing things in the Champions League already for Dortmund. And Dortmund, I think I've spoken to both of you guys about what I think of Dortmund. I think they're shit, basically.
We know.
Yeah, I told you at the start of the season. I said they're shit, man. Stop hyping up all these players they bought. None of them are
That was
good.
Bilal. That wasn't me. That was Bilal.
Okay.
He was hyping them up.
I just wanted to create a title race in the Bundesliga, man. But...
So Jude has all the attributes and qualities that this Liverpool squad needs right now. I get what you're saying. Rodri is a physical specimen. Man City don't win anything without Rodri, Michael. Let me tell you that for a fact.
Facts.
Because he's an absolute beast. He was carrying 2-3 of our players on his shoulder and still running the other day. We haven't got anyone to do that. Anyone. He won't be able to do that so easily to a Jude Bellingham, to a Caicedo who's physically imposing. Caicedo's only 5'11", I believe, but he plays like a 6'4". He's got the aura of a 6'4". Enzo Fernandez has been immaculate technically. His vision, his weight of pass, his breaking the lines, his technique. But for what we need right now, because you've got to remember, we still have Thiago in our books. It's the $1 million question, isn't it? It's like, how can you Jude and Enzo, they're two different players, but I just favor Jude. And I'm not taking into consideration the price or anything. I'm just looking at what we need as a Liverpool team right now. That's just my opinion. Very quickly before I let Bilal have his opinions on some of your thoughts. In fact, I'll come to Bilal to give his opinion on maybe that question and also the Nunez narrative that Michael's, of course, it's all about the caller's narrative. They can speak on what they want. He's worried about Nunez. He thinks we overpaid for him. He thinks we shouldn't have thought about the future. Correct me if I'm wrong. He thinks we should have bought for the now, and he doesn't believe he's ready now.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. First of all, on Darwin, I think he's a weird player. His movement is really good, clearly, because he keeps on getting into these chances. He stretches team. Even at the game at the Emirates, I was watching him fully, and I'm just looking at what he's doing. Like, he was causing our defenders problems. He even got a goal on that day. I think, yeah, he has that problem where he's trying to pick out the corner too much. He's trying to make everything perfect, when really, that's not even his game. You know, some players like we talk about Alvaro Morata as one of those type of strikers. When he has a lot of time, he'll miss. Even Edison Cavani, who I'm sure we all rate, a lot of times you watch Cavani, he would have time on the ball, fluff it. You know, he would fluff his chance. But if he didn't have to think, he would smash it. You know, if I was Klopp, honestly, I'll just tell Darwin, keep doing what you're doing, keep getting into those areas. And when you do, just smash the ball. Don't even think about, just keep on, only try and get it on target with power for now. Just keep on doing that. Keep on doing that. Get the confidence. You're hitting it on target. You're making the goalkeeper make a save. You're getting a corner. Instead of trying to place it and then the shot just looks, you know, yeah, as we saw against the other day, just going wide left and all sorts. But for me, yeah, if I was Klopp, I'll say, listen, you're doing well in terms of your movement. You're doing everything right. Everything you want, energy, work rate, determination. He's doing it all. It's just that last moment. And in that last moment, get on the training pitch, keep on smashing shots, keep on smashing shots. Don't think about it too much. And just keep doing what you're doing. But some of those misses against Man City were bad. But even Haaland missed a chance, you know. We saw that first chance. But the difference is with Haaland, he'll go follow it up with a goal and a great finish. So he needs to reach those levels. And right now in football in general, anyway, man, there's not many number 9s. That's why I don't blame Liverpool for buying Darwin Nunez. When Newcastle were looking for number 9, they signed Isaac, who was probably on that level of a Nunez and Isaac. These were the strikers of that age, Vlahovic, all of that around that age. No one is a certified gunman. Maybe Vlahovic is a bit more further ahead than all of them. But the number 9 in football in general is dying a little bit right now. And I don't know when the next generation of players who's going to develop into those 9s is going to come from. But Darwin is part of that batch, and he just needs to figure out that last moment. That's all it is. And you give him time, another 6 months. Let's see what he does playing for Klopp and playing for Liverpool. He'll get the chances 100%. And not only is he going to get the chances, right? He's got only Salah there. Firmino's in and out of the team, injuries at times. Jota, Diaz are injured. He's going to get the minutes. At the very least, he can't be doing much worse than the last game, in my opinion. So I think Liverpool fans
say one thing, Bilal. Let me just say one thing. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, why are you so baffled about his misses and that sort of stuff?" I understand, but the price tag is 80 million. When I get 80 million and I spend it on something, I need it to work immediately. I don't want it to just work in a couple of years' time. It needs to work right now, and he needs to, because we saw it last season. Diaz, he gets into good positions, but he doesn't score. I did not buy 80 million to cause havoc. I bought 80 million to get goals. And if I don't get that, that's a big problem to me, because he is a striker at the end of the day. Yes, he makes all – go ahead.
No, sorry. I just put my finger up to speak next. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay, sorry, I got confused. I thought you wanted to say something. Sorry. No, so that's my problem, because Liverpool are relying on Salah, because we don't get a lot of goals from the midfield, and that's pretty evident. So it's basically Salah, Darwin, and then Jota when he's healthy. Those are the main guys who get the goals. So if Darwin is not scoring, that's an issue for Liverpool, big time. That's my only issue with him. Look, I want him to succeed. I want him to do well. But there's a reason why 2 seasons ago he was playing in the 2nd division of La Liga. Not the 1st, the 2nd. That's just my issue with him. I don't know if he's a sophisticated player, but he makes excellent runs and does all this sort of good stuff, works well off the ball, but you're a finisher at the end of the day, Darwin. You're supposed to be that killer. That's why I call him. My nickname is El Loco for him, because he's just sometimes clueless on the field. It really is. But yeah, go ahead, Grizz.
So I'm in an awkward situation with Nunez. No, not really. No, it's not an awkward situation. So this is my situation with Nunez, and I think people that have watched my channel will know from the start I've been pretty consistent. When I kind of knew that it's Klopp's target, I started watching him, which was around March, April time. And I knew he was a target for us. I then realized we're actually going to get him around May. I said to everyone on my channel, when we were playing Benfica in the Champions League quarterfinal, was it? I can't remember. What, semi-final?
Yeah, quarters.
Quarterfinal. And everyone was like, "Oh, Darwin Nunez, the danger man. We got to watch out for him." And I named the other speedster for Benfica. Who was it, sorry?
Rafa Silva.
And they were like, "Yo, Grizz, have you been watching Benfica? It's all about Darwin Nunez." And I was very famously clipped up, or whatever you want to call it, saying, "Oh, nah, for me, he's not all that. I don't like watching him play. You know what I mean? Silva's the one, speed merchant." Rafa Silva. You know, I mean, he might not. He's going to cause us the most problems. When we were linked with him, everyone said, "Oh, watch Grizz change his tune now, because now Liverpool have got him. Now Darwin Nunez is going to become the best player in the world." I was still consistent. Darwin Nunez is not my type of striker. Darwin Nunez is stylistically not my type of striker. I don't rate him technically. I don't think he's great technically. But what I said from the start, and I'm still saying it, is he's going to be greatly effective. Now, Michael, people, obviously, so many people have got different opinions. Liverpool, and I'm only going to take Liverpool fans' opinions for now, people. That's not offense to everyone else, but just because it's Liverpool, right? So I'm going to bring up a few Liverpool that I know Liverpool people's. Yeah. So look, first and foremost, the price. Again, we know he can't control the price. We know the same for Sancho, the same for Grealish, the same for Anthony, the same for all attacking players. You know, we can mention they can't control the price. That's the market. That's what they're about. You said something about you don't want when you're paying 80 million. First and foremost, it was 65 million. If we win the Champions League or the Premier League, it will be another 20 million on top, which will equate to 85 million. If he achieves that, or we end up paying that, that will mean he's had an effect on us winning the Champions League and Premier League, which will be happy days anyway. But I get your point. I agree with a lot of what you said, but not all of what you said, because he's still very young, especially in terms of a striker. He's come into the most hectic or weird, wild season where the preseason was so short. The World Cup comes in the middle. He's an absolute vital member of the Uruguay squad. He's known in the back of his head that he's about to fly off for his World Cup, yet he's come to a club that's expected to compete at the highest level. It's a lot for someone to take in for his first couple of months. He's coming to a country, he don't speak the language, not even a word. He don't even speak a word. He's been asked to play left wing, right wing. No Sadio Mane, no Diego Jota, Bobby in and out of the team. It's a new strike force we're trying to create, trying to build. These are all relevant. These are not excuses. These are causations, facts. These are. Yet, after all of that, he still managed to score, I think, 9 goals and 3 assists already. 9 goals and 3 assists. He's got a goal and an assist every 86 minutes. I agree he doesn't look great onto the eye. I agree he's technically not great at all. I agree with all of that. But if I've paid some money for someone and he's giving me those stats without learning the system, without speaking the language, with a team that's in tatters in terms of physically, sometimes it looks like, and tactically as well. We don't even know our best team yet because we haven't had a chance to put out our best team. Every time we one step forward, another one gets injured, especially in attack. Diaz and Jota are vital components of this Liverpool team that haven't even stepped on the pitch with him yet. And he's learning to play with Elliott and Carvalho. This is not what we bought Nunez for. I personally think anyone that's criticizing him over the top is being naive and maybe a bit too rash. I don't think he's the world's best striker. People that compared him to Haaland were crazy. You don't compare him to Haaland. Haaland is one of the best finishers in world football for the last 2 seasons. But then people that are saying he's the worst piece of business that Liverpool have ever done are crazy as well, in my opinion. I think he will be very effective for this Liverpool team. I just don't think he's technically great, which triggers a lot of people because people have different perceptions of what they want in a striker. People like seeing someone who can hold the ball, flick it here, control, maybe take on a player, look elegant. He doesn't look none of that. He's a forceful bull. He's a raging bull. But given the right environment, give him time, give him learn the system, let him learn the league, let him learn the defenders, who's what type of defender. He doesn't even know what kind of defender. I don't know, name some Lewis Dunkis, for example. He doesn't know these kind of players. Once he gets a knowledge of each centre-back, how they play, how a system plays, I believe he'll be very effective. There's a difference between effective and looking good and, oh, look at him, highlights reel. He's never going to make a highlights reel. But I believe, and the way he started off proves so, that he's going to be very effective. a goal and assist every 86 minutes, including that as well. He's been sent off a 3-game ban. Imagine the pressure this guy's under. He's literally the main man at Liverpool now, suddenly. That's just my take on him, but I absolutely respect and understand anyone else's take on him as well, because I get it, because I was there 6 months ago. I used to think the same of him, but I envisaged him in a Klopp system and this Premier League and the pace and the power needed, the dynamism needed. He has shown me that he's got that. He just needs to become more rounded.
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, you're going to have to give him time anyway. You haven't got a choice at this point, unless Kudus comes in and can play a false 9 and be a different type of option. But I think people have these frustrations with strikers anyway. Like, even for me, with Gabriel Jesus, as much as he's been linking up play, working hard, winning the ball back, literally doing everything, right? But the final moment, I don't know how many games he hasn't even scored a goal.
See, I've been hearing this comparison a lot. Captain Sal says no difference between Timo Werner and Nunez. See, this is it, because Timo Werner hardly scored a goal. This guy's got 9 goals already. The comparison is so different. Timo Werner was an established German international by then. I think he was older. I'm pretty sure he was older, more experienced, in a more settled Chelsea team, and had over 12 months, 18 months to perform.
He was there for quite a while. And to be fair, the reputation he did have in Germany was really mad. But of course, he was coming from a Bundesliga where everyone plays high lines and, you know, giving him a lot of space.
He was 24. He was 24 when he joined Chelsea.
I think he just lost confidence. But as I said, the number 9 in football, like in terms of number 9s, right? Even Osimhen, people have been gassing him up, saying he's been amazing. Even me, I've been a little bit converted in terms of the way I view Osimhen. I wasn't one who was the biggest fan of him, but recent games for Napoli, I've been seeing him be like, okay, you know what, I'll take you more seriously. But even him, a lot of the times you'll see him do weird things. You're like, you're a bit Nunez-like, you know what I mean? He's same problems that I can see with Nunez. I see sometimes with the likes of even Osimhen. So I don't think the number 9 in general, that's maybe a different debate, not even just about Darwin. There's just not many in the game right now. It's all about trying to get the best out of what you have. And Darwin Nunez, in terms of his raw qualities, definitely suits Klopp. And that's why when Liverpool signed him, said that's a team for him. Because if any team is going to make Darwin Nunez bang in the Premier League, it was going to be Liverpool and Klopp, with the intense style of football and the energy that you play with.
Hey Nomadic says more settled team Chelsea ? That's Cat Grizz. Can someone remind me? Did he join the Champions League?
Lampard, they finished 4th. Then Havertz, Werner, Ziyech came in the summer. So yeah, maybe you could. But they had a team. They had a little bit of a call with, like, you know, Mount, Tammy. It was a young team, Lampard, but it wasn't settled in terms of.
Was that not the team that won the Champions League?
In the end, they did win the Champions League when Tuchel came in.
That was the season.
Right? In January, he came in.
Was it the season after?
So he came the summer, and then that was the season they won the Champions League, I believe.
So correct us if I was
wrong. Tuchel came in halfway through that season, because I remember Arsenal slapped Chelsea like 3-1 or something, right? Yep. And then that was the end of December. Tuchel comes in the next week, and then they were just keeping clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. 6-month period where they went on that cup run in the Champions League, won the Champions League, right? But up until that point, after finishing 4th with Lampard, they thought they were going to build on with Werner, Havertz, and Ziyech in the Premier League itself. They didn't actually do that. Tuchel comes in, wins the Champions League, but in terms of Premier League, they didn't. Obviously, we even not see Chelsea now. They've not really progressed since.
Michael, if Fahad, like Fahad says, put him in a proper midfield behind him, and he's going to absolutely slay. 20 to 25 goals and assists this season comfortably in a poor side with 0 legs and reliability in midfield. If this guy in his first season, after everything I've described, still ends up with 20 to 25 goals and assists, and you've just said you're very, very nervous about this Liverpool team. You don't believe in this Liverpool team because of the reliability of the legs or energy and everything that we've discussed. If he still manages to put up 20 to 25 goals and assists, is your opinion going to change in any way, shape, or form?
No.
And I was going to say, if not, why not? Because you don't like him as a player?
No. It's not that I don't like him as a player, but it's just that the amount of chances he misses so far.
But Michael, he's creating those chances because of his movement. So, for example, put Bobby in that position. He doesn't get those chances because he doesn't make those moves. One of the things they've identified about him is his lung power in terms of how many, what's the word? I forgot the word now. No, there's another word. How many runs this guy can make? It's very vital to him having those chances. People don't see that. People just see him through. Oh, how was he put through? Oh, because it was a wonderful through ball. It was a wonderful through ball because this guy made another run after being disappointed missing shots, and then another run. He's got immense.
Like the goal that Salah scored, he made an excellent run for it. He went on the outside, on the left side of Laporte, I think it was.
Even these other chances, he's making the run. It's like Suarez used to make that run again and again and again. Suarez, I remember in that first season,
he missed a lot of chances. He actually missed a lot of chances, Suarez, in that first season.
Mohamed Salah missed so many chances in that first season, geezers. But look, I'm just surprised that you still wouldn't change your mind. Because to me, Bilal, maybe Liverpool to Liverpool fan, maybe we're trying to convince each other. So maybe you can come in as a judge, neutral. I don't want it to be one-sided for me or one-sided for Michael. To me, then Michael seems to have an agenda against him, it seems. Because if he's saying, even if the guy scores 20 to 25 goals and assists in his first season, in a dismantled season, disruptive season, World Cup, in Liverpool all over the place, he's still not going to be happy. Explain that one to me then.
Yeah, I don't know, Michael, you're going to have to explain that.
Yeah, Michael, you're going to have to explain that.
If he scores 20, 25 goals, are you not going to think, okay, that at least we have something to work with? He's an option in the team that can give me 20, 25 goals if this system or this team is working.
My brother Said in the building,
you've got to be happy with that, because not many strikers are even getting 20 goals in the league anymore. The way
Michael, look at it. All yours.
No, I'll just... The thing is, like, I hope he becomes a good player. Like, if people think, oh my God, this guy doesn't want him to succeed, of course they want him to succeed, because that means it'll be good for Liverpool. But I'm just... If this keeps on going where he keeps missing these amount of chances, of course, if he gets 20, 25 goals, I'll have to change my tune a little bit. If he can do it for another season, that's great. If he can do it for 2 seasons, then I'll completely change my tone. But I'm just still worried about him. I just feel like he's a guy who plays on confidence. That's my biggest...
I agree with you. I agree with you. He has to show it consistently. He has to. I agree with the notion and understanding or doubt in you. I understand you doubting if he can do that. I understand that aspect. What I'm saying to you is, if he has got those figures at the end of the season, I asked that question, then would you change your mind? The fact that you said you still wouldn't change your mind suggests you just don't fancy him as a player, which is fine as well. I don't fancy him as a player. But I think that's been mighty effective. If he puts up 20 to 25 goals and assists in his first season in this Liverpool team, I think he will have
I think the
long way to shut up a lot of people.
I think the problem is, right, with Darwin right now, and for Liverpool fans who obviously recent years, title races, everything, you're expecting a certain level and you have certainty. Mane was going to deliver every week. Salah was going to, Firmino was going to deliver. I think the issue now for some Liverpool fans is that with Darwin, you have to wait for the evidence, if that makes sense, right? You're going by every game now. You're building up your database on Darwin Nunez at Liverpool. You haven't got that, okay, Mane did this that season, Salah did this that season. You have to wait a little bit. And I think with the situation of Liverpool in the league as well, and the rest of the team also, some players seemingly declining, maybe the team not gelling as well as it has been, the injuries as well. And then all of that has created more pressure on Nunez, not just, from on himself to just score goals, just in general. The team's kind of now on his shoulders. And was he ready for that in the first place? Because I don't think that was the plan anyway. The plan was when Nunez signed for Liverpool, right? Okay, you got Jota, you have Diaz, you have Bobby, you have Salah. He'll be fine. He's not going to be relied upon. But now it's similar to Eddie Nketiah, Arsenal, where now
he's had to stand up.
Yeah, you got to score, bro. If you don't score, everyone's going to be on your back. So I understand it from that perspective that Michael's coming from as well.
Yeah. Michael,
he's not even the biggest problem. Yeah, and he's not even the biggest problem for Liverpool. I mean, I look defensively, we are shockingly bad. I can't even not recognize this defensively. We are falling asleep for that third goal against Man City. That is pathetic. There had that one image where everybody was just looking at the ball. That is poor. That's something that Liverpool have been very good at in the last couple of seasons. Defensively solid. We need Konate back immediately. I mean, the guy is just, I think he's going to be the best center back in the world in a couple of years. The way he plays, physicality, speed, the way he can pass, I absolutely love Konate. So I think that's our biggest worry for Liverpool. Yes, people talk about the midfield and Darwin and this sort of stuff. For me, it's defensively. We have given up way too many chances and conceded way too many goals for a Klopp Liverpool side that has built on in the last couple of seasons with the title charges defensively solid. Keep it 1 goal or clean sheet, but we will win the game 2-1. But now we're conceding 3, we're conceding 2, we're conceding 3 to Brighton, 2 to Leeds. That's my biggest worry with Liverpool.
It's absolutely right. With these points that you made, I absolutely agree with you totally. It's the most fragile we've looked. It's the most fragile we've looked that I can remember. Teams are literally walking through us, and it's quite worrying. I also agree with the Khanage shout. Everyone knows my love for Ibu. He's the man. He's the man. Just before we do let you go, because we've got quite a few people looking to come in now. AJ says, please go back to Bilal's opinion on Jude or Enzo. Whose question was that? Was that my question or was it Michael's question?
You'd rather sign
Michael's question. Yeah, sorry. That's the one.
Yeah, no, it depends. For Liverpool.
Okay, for Liverpool and then for Arsenal.
Okay. For Liverpool, Jude Bellingham, because of Klopp, because of the way you guys play. And I still believe with Fabinho there and with the likes of Jude Bellingham around him, he could, be revitalized. That's the reason I would say Bellingham as that priority. And of course, him being English, etc. I just feel like he suits Liverpool a lot, and I think he would be really good at Liverpool. That's the reason I would, go for a Jude if it was, if I was Liverpool. For an Arsenal, I don't know. It might be a bit of Enzo. I'm not gonna lie. Just in terms of the style of play, right? Arsenal's a bit weird because I know people say Man City light in terms of Arteta, trying to be like Pep in terms of the football. But if you watch Arsenal, you realize a lot of the things he's taken are from Liverpool as well. He's watched a lot of Liverpool. He wanted Pep Linders as his assistant. The Martinelli Saka is his kind of Mane Salah. Even now with this Mudryk signing, it's suggesting to me he's really thinking about that pace, that devastating threat in behind. That's what he wants. And it's not just a case of passing the ball all the time. So maybe a player like Jude, especially, maybe he would be a really good fit at Arsenal as well. But Enzo, maybe because he can play more in the 6 as well at times, could play in that position, could play a more controlling role as well in midfield. I think his qualities probably suit an Arsenal team more. But I think Jude suits even a Real Madrid, right? And a Liverpool in terms of style of play. So, yeah, it's interesting how it's a little nuances in terms of players. But for Liverpool, yeah, definitely, I would say Jude is the one that you guys should definitely prioritize.
So are Arsenal going to play for Mudryk?
Oh, are you still there? Or yeah. So you say
Did you hear my question? Yeah, how much are Arsenal going to pay for Mudryk?
Listen, they keep saying Shakhtar want 100 million, but I don't think anyone's
so
I
done a show with Ben Jacobs yesterday on my friend Saeed's channel. Very, very good journalist who has interviewed Mudryk himself personally and one of his agents in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And he said, even though Shakhtar are demanding in public 100 million euro, which is about 85 million pound.
85 million pounds, yeah.
He goes, they will accept internally around 80 million euro, which is
60 million,
65 million. But he doesn't even expect it to be that much.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks an eventual deal will be able to take place between 50 and 60 million pound.
I miss the days where I can go get that kind of player playing Ukraine for like 20 million, man.
Well, let's get Michael's reaction to that, because obviously Michael's reaction was
50, 60 million. I mean, if it gets to 85 million, that is insanity. Then this world is going crazy. Then Bilal will go to Arsenal for like 10 million at this rate, because it's insane. Mudryk is a very good player, a lot of potential. 85 million. What are we doing here? It doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, if Shakhtar say they want that money, they are more than welcome to say he's worth that much.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. We know the market's mad. I agree with you. I laughed at United paying X amount for Anthony. I just thought, wow. I'm waiting to see how much they pay for Gakpo. People laughed at how much we've paid for Nunez. But again, these are all the prices. Look, all of these deals that I've spoken of, majority of people are saying everyone overpaid. Like everyone, Calvin Phillips, was it 50 or 60 million?
So like
I think it was 40-ish, yeah.
Cucurella, how much?
Cucurella was an overpay.
Sorry?
Yeah, 53.
53. Who else has been a big signing, right? There's so many big signings.
The Mudryk one. Even the Shakhtar guy.
Every player has been laughed at. Anthony, Nunez, Mudryk now being thinking, everyone, Cucurella, so many big signings. Everyone's saying, whoa, you're overpaying. As I
Grizz,
said,
you know what?
markets dictate it,
Sorry,
unfortunately.
Grizz, you know what the common denominator is in that factor? They're all Premier League sides.
Yeah, get fleeced. Nicolas Pepe, 72 million.
Yeah. So
like,
as soon as they hear, oh, there's a Premier League club on the call. Oh, let's just bump it up a couple more. Let's put a couple more zeros.
Well, let's think. Has there been any big signings in Europe by like European clubs? I can't think.
I mean, Barcelona. I mean, you could say Rafinha and these sort of guys.
How much do they pay for Rafinha in the end?
Was it 50, 60, somewhere around that?
They got it cheaper. They got it cheaper than what Chelsea or Arsenal would have had to pay for Rafinha.
Because Rafinha only wanted to go to Barcelona.
Yeah. And Endrick the other day went to Real Madrid. Well, he's been signed now. Was that
60 million?
Ridiculous. I know Perez.
And by the way, Tchouameni was 85, but okay, he's worth it. So that's the one player that, you know, okay. We approached Endrick 1 year ago. Endrick, Liverpool, forward thinking, but we were told he's going to Madrid. And that's the way it is. But that's the way it is.
I know. No, Grizz, when Real Madrid call, you take the call. Unfortunately, that's how it goes.
Well, it's not going to happen for Jude, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, people. I'm just letting you lot know he's not going to be going to Madrid. It's going to be us or City. City think it's them. Liverpool think it's them.
I'll just say one last thing, and this is the one last thing. And January 4th, it's Kvaratskhelia ball is back. That's all I care about. Kvaratskhelia ball is back.
Okay, so here we go. Before you go, then, how much is Kvaratskhelia worth?
Kvaratskhelia. How much is he worth?
You just didn't understand my accent. I said exactly that.
How much is? I think Newcastle tried to approach them for like 65 million, and Napoli said, "Buzz off. We ain't gonna."
How much is he worth?
80.
I disagree. You know how much this guy's worth, really? Especially Napoli, 150 million minimum.
Wait, Bilal. Okay, so Bilal, is he going to be more than Rafael Leao?
Oh, definitely. Kvaratskhelia is on the bro. Listen, you know when you watch a player and you're like, that guy is just him. And every time I watch him, I'm just like, that he could be the best left winger in the world, 100%. He's got that. No.
Yeah,
bro. Napoli tax, De Laurentiis, and then and the fact that I think he can be the best in his position in the world, like undisputed.
I agree.
I watch him
with that.
I think he's so special. And you know the older players, when you look at them in the past, and you look at the likes of Figo, Zidane, Henry, you know, like they're technically so good, you're unstoppable, really unplayable. But also they've got that size to them, like the physical aspect to them. When you look at them, like whoa, like Cristiano Ronaldo as well. They've got that to them, right? Kvaratskhelia's got it all. I just look at him; he's such a special talent. I hope he stays in Napoli anyway, because I'd rather enjoy him. I don't want to see him come Premier League and start playing for like a Man City, and I'm there watching, you know, Kvaratskhelia with Haaland. I don't want to see that, you know. So let him stay in Napoli.
Michael, I must let you know, we can speak football forever because you're such a wonderful, wonderful contributor to the channel. I've got so many callers waiting.
No worries.
We need to do a show together. I'll hit you up on WhatsApp and we'll message so we keep in touch.
Happy holidays to everybody.
It's been wonderful chatting to you as always. Thank you very much, my brother. Look after
yourself. Cheers, guys. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye. Same to you, my man. You're mad. 150 million euros. You're mad. Why do you do these ones randomly? Like, just you lose it.
You can't, bro. You're not getting Kvaratskhelia out of Napoli for less than that kind of money. I don't care. You're not getting him out of there for less than 150.
100 million, man. 100 million.
De Laurentiis not even picking up the phone.
Anyway, let's get the callers in, man. We've got so many callers waiting to come in, man. Some of them have logged off because we spoke too long for Michael, but Michael's such a wonderful guy to chat to. You know what I mean? Let's bring on Nippon as well. Nippon! Good buddy. How are you, sir?
I can't hear you.
Oh, God. You better do something, Nippon, because there's 200 and close to 250 people here that can hear us. Nippon?
I log out and log back in.
Oh, no. You waited all that time. Nippon. That is so typical Nippon, isn't it?
I don't know how you can't hear us. I don't know. Everyone can hear us right in the comments. I'm pretty sure they can.
I love him, man. People already know Nippon by now, man. He's one of the characters of the YouTube scene, man. My brother waited an hour. Ya Rabbi.
Technical difficulties.
I told him to make sure everything's under control and you're good. I asked him, "Are you okay to go?" And bless him. We're gonna have to get the next callers in. In fact, we're gonna go to our brothers at Never a Foul. Or you lot in the chat, behave, innit? Come on, man. Respect Nippon, man. We're gonna bring in our brothers Daps and Mo from Never a Foul. Guys,
Wait, Bo, that is the definition of nipping on, literally.
Oh, you're too much.
He really did nip on. He nips on and off in seconds. Nip on, nipped off.
Do you know what? That guy has such bad luck, man. He comes on, he's so always ready to chat, and he's in a different Nippon, I'm afraid you're gonna have to wait, my friend, because we had got so many people waiting to come on. I can see you in the studio now. Just let's have a little chat. Enjoy the chat while we hopefully we get you sorted, man. I don't know what happened. But what's good, people? Of course, first and foremost, season's greetings to you too, and the rest of your team and Never a Foul. Hope you guys
as well.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody watching. Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy holidays, festive period, happy time.
Absolutely,
hopefully
absolutely.
The new year will bring joy.
Whoa, this is it. What kind of joy? Where will the joy be? Will it
Is it Bellingham joy or Enzo Fernandez joy?
Oh, that kind of joy can wait.
No,
that kind of joy can wait.
Grizz. Sorry, can I just say, I keep having this debate. For me, like 65% of your issues, if not 70% of your issues, I honestly believe could be solved with Amrabat.
Talk's on quiet on him. I don't know why.
No, it's not the talk. No, I'm trying to deep what.
So it's less money, and like for me, like the thing I keep saying to everyone, is, and Liverpool fans in particular, but not so much. Not so much Liverpool fans, more rival fans. Trent, has not changed. Trent is Trent, right? Like Cancelo is Cancelo.
I think he's changed, Daps.
But
it's controversial. This is my controversial take.
What it is for me, is there's players like Trent and Cancelo that they will never be, and by the way, I'm not coming on it to slander him and say he's a shit defender. They will never be straight defenders, but they are fucking world class in the role they do, So what you do is you make sure your system protects them and allows them to do their role, because if they do their role, it's very important to your team. So I don't feel like Trent, you are right. Trent has changed because he's had to, because the cover he used to get is not being given to him now. So he's having to come back and do same way with Walker out. Cancelo's been last man a few times and he's looked dodgy, right? He's not usually last man. It's usually Kyle Walker. So Cancelo's having to do a job he doesn't do and he looks dodgy. Same with Trent is having to do something different. Now, I think you get Amrabat and all of a sudden, because however good Fabinho was, he's dropped off. I think, and then obviously you've got the issue that Milner and Henderson's legs are going a little bit.
Gone, not going.
Yeah, but you get Amrabat, and I think Amrabat just deals with a lot of that shit for
it's
you
about
very
the
quickly.
DM, in my opinion, footballing thing is the most important position on the pitch.
Yeah.
He is the one who protects the defenders. He's the one that provides the forwards the coverage they need to go do what they want.
And stops everything.
At the moment, Fabinho is not doing his job. That's why Trent, when you're a fullback, a very attacking fullback, okay, the best fullback in the world in the last 5 years, you're used to having someone to cover you all the time. So you go do your thing. You're like going forward without having to think, oh my God, I have this winger behind me. Amrabat might not be the permanent solution for you, but it's a temporary solution to get you through this season at least.
Do you know the best way of describing real quick? The best way of describing if you don't have an elite DM, we can use it for City and Liverpool. Both seasons, the season Van Dijk got injured and the season Laporte got injured, you lot dropped Fabinho back into your back four. We dropped Fernandinho into our back four. Both of them did a job. It wasn't, the issue was not that they were not good enough as centre-backs. The issue was they didn't have world-class DMs because they were the world-class DMs that have dropped back into, so they didn't have the cover. I just think you lot deal with that and you're halfway there.
Unless you go spend 100 million on Enzo Fernandez, which is not going to happen.
I agree partly with what you said, and I agree partly with Mo said. So you could say in totality, I agree with both of you, but I don't. I think Amrabat is a very good DM, but if you analyze the way he's played for his national team as compared to how he would play for Liverpool in the Premier League, I think it's pretty much chalk and cheese. And the reason why I say that is teams in the last 12 months have played differently against us. Where teams used to try to press us and harass us, they don't do that anymore. What they do now is let our DMs collect the ball, our midfield collect the ball. They've realized that Fabinho isn't amazing on the ball progressively. So if you watch the Champions League final, for example, which was the best example for me, which got me the most angriest and the most. I was sat in the, what's it called, below that Parc de France? No, it's not. It's the other one, isn't it?
That was the Saint Denis area.
Yeah, Saint Denis,
yeah. VIP.
No. I was sitting with a man then.
ITK.
Right? So I was watching Fabinho and I was going mad. Everyone was worried about Mane missed that chance, Salah missing that chance, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I was pulling my hairs on my chest because none of my head. So the hairs on my chest, I was pulling out and going mad watching Fabinho. Fabinho's progressive passing has become worse and worse and worse. Amrabat, for his team, was a destroyer in the mold of. Do you remember Javier Mascherano for us? Mascherano, he was exactly the
Young with us as well. De Jong and Mascherano are great examples of that. Yeah.
Mascherano was one of those see ball, chase ball, hunt ball. Nothing's going to stop him.
Give the ball to someone else.
But Amrabat, because I watch a lot of Italian football, Amrabat plays for one of the most progressive coaches in Italian football, which is the Censo Italiano. Their model of football is about ball position. The fact that he actually switched to be only a destroyer from Morocco proved to me that he can play both parts. I think I
agree with you, but look at the levels now. So this is what I was going to come to. So it's good you segue into that. His performances for Fiorentina, which you're saying is under a progressive coach and he's asked to do something different, hasn't got him catching the eye of the major clubs in world football. His performances in the World Cup for Morocco, playing in a totally different style, have caught. And that can happen. Players can suddenly, or coaches can suddenly jump on a tactic that they weren't envisaging, or a player in a role that they weren't envisaging, suddenly become a star in that position. For example, again, Mascherano became the centre-back for Barcelona in one of the greatest teams the world's ever seen. So I believe that Mascherano, Amrabat, and again, very quickly, I'll let you guys go. Amrabat ain't a bad player. I'm not saying no to Amrabat. I'm not arrogant to say, yeah, you know what, because Amrabat walks into our midfield right now. Yeah, before people say, oh, are you really putting your players above him? No. What I'm saying is I agree with one of you brothers said, to get you by now, short term, in January, he makes the most sense financially, availability-wise, and for what we need now, even though I don't think he's got any fucking energy left after what he done, the heroics in the World Cup. Man's probably sitting in a jacuzzi right now as we speak, and fair play to him, right? He was a monster. But for right now, I agree, Amrabat could do a very good job. Long term, for me, and I've said it before, I don't know if you guys were listening, Moises Caicedo can do that, and he breaks line with his passing. I think for me personally, I would pay 20 to 30 million more if it meant securing Moises Caicedo. That doesn't mean I'm shitting on Amrabat. I just think Amrabat is slightly more limited.
Go on.
Before you do that, Moises Caicedo is the best example of Bissouma. Absolutely phenomenal for Brighton. Now Bissouma goes to Spurs. What does he do? Sits on the bench, doesn't do his job. He will be called out by Conte many times that he's not doing his job. So the fact that
him a chance to do his fucking
he
job,
tried a couple of he gave him a chance a couple of times, and then he thought, you're not doing your job. Not in offense, not in defense, and he switched back to Bentancur and Højbjerg. That doesn't mean that Bissouma is a bad player. That means Bissouma was good for a mid-table team. Maybe Caicedo would be the same. So for you to say, I want to put 20 million, that means you're talking about 40 to 50 million pounds now when you're trying to switch owners Of course, I'm defending
Grizz,
my Arab
Grizz,
brother.
Grizz,
Of course,
do you know why he's saying this, Grizz? Do you know what I've just watched?
I'm defending
This
my
guy-
Arab
this
brother,
guy-
of course.
Grizz, this guy's stayed with me for a month now, right? And what I've come to realize is, yeah, this guy and his agendas are mad, right?
No, we all of ours are, man. Come on.
But like,
We all have them.
Well,
We've just worked out his.
He'll tell me that, like, by about the second week of the World Cup, he's telling me that he doesn't want any more surprises, doesn't want any big teams being beaten by small teams, unless it's Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, right? And it was like, okay, I get it. Agendas. You just, to him,
They're my Arab brothers.
You just disrespected Amrabat, bro. He took that personal. He took
No,
that.
no, I haven't. No, but look, I know what you're saying. But I know what you're saying. But Mo, what you've said about Basuma, why are you not saying the same for Amrabat?
I am.
No,
but
he
he's
has been in
cheaper.
the World Cup.
I am, but he's cheaper. That's
No,
the
I
thing.
agree with you.
That's
But
the thing.
Look,
They're not putting 50 million pounds. Brighton
I agree with you.
in the Premier League,
I
they're going to
agree
ask
with
for
you.
50 million pounds.
As I said, price-wise, I agree with you. Right now, I agree with you. Short-term wise, I just don't think he's. You know, if there was a list, he'd be on the list.
Yeah,
I'm not dismissing it. I'm not dismissing it. I'm saying he'd be on the list, and he is on the list. We are absolutely looking at him as well, alongside Yunus Musa. We're absolutely looking at Yunus Musa as well. People in the chat, I haven't tweeted it yet, but we are also in for Yunus Musa, the American.
Hold on. So can I just say, for me, it's interesting, and I'm just thinking because I'll be open and honest. I don't watch Liverpool every game. I watch Liverpool if City are playing them.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So I'm always seeing Fabinho as, I guess I'm seeing him as a destroyer, right? But you are right. Liverpool and City have not played with destroyers since Mascherano and De Jong, right? What they've played with is Fernandinho's and Fabinho's, who are DMs that, yes, they can do a bit of that work, but that's not the main bit of their work. It's also the build-up play. It's being involved. Obviously,
intelligence as well, man.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about that, thinking you have got a point, because I'm just looking at it at the moment that I'm looking at people coming at your defense, right? And I'm thinking, hold on, it's very similar to when people would say about City's defense over the last however many years, oh, our defense isn't that good. It's because we have so much play. And then I'm looking at Liverpool this year and I'm going, could the same not be said for Liverpool, that now all of a sudden Liverpool's defense is not so good because the midfield in front of them has fallen off, right? And it's the same with both of them. Only both of them, and we saw on Thursday night, both the teams, can we all agree on this stream right now, that was sensational. That reminded just how good domestic football is. It's almost like that was planned. First game back, let's go get Liverpool v City.
But I was going to say, but it's not even domestic football, with all due respect to all the other teams. And this is not arse licking because you're on my channel, because people know I've been saying this, whether you're on my channel or not. I still say they're the best games probably in Europe, right? Even though both teams were not at full strength, your back line was nowhere near your full strength. Our midfield was nowhere near our full strength.
Giving the ball away a lot.
Exactly.
Highly competitive to the end.
But the energy levels, the impact, the action-packed and high level of skill needed to play at that pace, at that level, first game back, without much training, a few of them.
Yeah, spot on.
Like 5-6 on either team, just came back on Monday.
Yeah.
And do you know how insane that is to put on that performance show? But it is what it is, man. As I said before, you guys should have won that far more comfortably. You should have
killed it off early.
Killed 20 minutes. It should have been 3-0, bang, game over.
Yeah.
But I was encouraged by the way we grew into the team once we brought more and more players in. So both teams will be encouraged, because you could tell Pep didn't want to lose. Pep didn't want to go 6 unbeaten against Liverpool. So he picked that team. He didn't want to go. So he the way they celebrated meant a lot to City. I hated losing because of the fact that we were holders and it was Man City. So we both got, like, you guys progress and it does wonders for your mood and spirit. But I think it took a lot out of your players. You saw a lot of your players holding injuries.
I don't get how De Bruyne was kept on.
But this is my point. We don't know how this is going to affect long term. We managed to save a few players. We're hoping that will have a positive effect. Otherwise, if we don't get a win against Villa, it's going to be nasty. We got dumped out by Man City and we didn't beat Villa. It's wild. It's going to be wild.
I think
but if we get 3 points against Villa, it could be a little bit bit of sweat
People will
back.
forget,
you know what-
Grizz.
do you know
People
what
will
was-
forget, Grizz.
Grizz, for us, you've got to remember our last game, was Brentford at home. We lost 3-1. So it was important that we came back going into this Christmas period, and not even just the Christmas period. Our January run, we got a lot of big games. We had to hit the ground running. Like we couldn't be losing that game. We had to hit the ground running. But were you encouraged by Ox? What you saw of Ox? Because I would be if I was you.
Ox is a strange one, man. There's absolutely no chance he stays beyond his contract. But I've requested, like as if I mean anything to these guys.
You do, man. You think you don't. You do.
I'm saying, guys, please leave on a high. Because if they leave on a high, that will mean they've contributed to this Liverpool team. Because as much as the jury's out in Ox's scenario, but definitely in Naby's scenario as in a flop. Yeah. Jury out because of injuries, and when he's been fit, Ox has been good. Naby just hasn't had enough good games. But Ox has got memories. Leave us with some more memories, and not all will be forgiven, but it won't be like what a disaster it was. That's all I'm asking for Ox.
Yeah.
And that kind of impact that he made against City, if he can do that just for another couple of months until Jota and Diaz come back, because he's going to be, by the way, Liverpool fans, he's going to be our wide left over three. He's going to be our front. He's going to be our Jota and Diaz player on the third.
For months, 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Bring him Allah help you guys. Allah help you guys. I'm sorry. Oxlade, you can't rely on Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now I'm saying you need to sign a winger at least, or another forward.
Well, I'm just telling you guys now.
They can't do that. They're not going to sign every window. They're not going to sign a winger. That's not going to work like this.
Or a striker at least. Because
I think we're going to bring in a forward
this window.
Yeah, I think we're going to bring in a forward. So
and a midfielder. Hold on.
And a
midfielder. Forward. Yeah. Define forward.
Someone who can play across the front three.
Across the front three. I think the only issue I would have, I get what Mo's saying maybe, is that, right, so if we look at your forwards right now, you've got Salah, you've got Diaz, you've got Jota, you've got... Diaz?
Bilal, just give me one second. Bilal, can you just reply to some of the guys in the studio that, just patience.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. But you've got four. You've got, am I right? Salah, 5. Diaz, Jota,
Nunez,
Firmino.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got 5 that already, are of a level where they're certainly fighting for positions, yeah?
Yeah.
No, but all right, so 4 are fighting for 2
positions. 4
are
fighting for 2 positions.
So if I am a forward player that can play across the front 3 of a level that believes I'm good enough to play for Liverpool, am I not concerned that if I'm going to be the 5th person fighting for 2 positions? Would that not be, because ultimately you don't want to get someone that's not good enough.
You want to get a big name that will come in and actually up the level.
We had 7 forwards last season, because we had these guys, plus we had Taki Minamino and Origi, who scored very vital goals. A la how Gabriel Jesus used to.
I get Origi thing fully.
Yeah. So we had them too. So we minus them too. Bobby is on his last contract with us. We are trying to extend it for another season at max, right? That leaves 4 into 3. We absolutely 100%. What's that?
You think you'll get one in January?
No, I don't. No, I don't think we're going to get one of our big targets, long-term targets. But I think we're gonna bring in an attacker. Some will call it underwhelming. I don't know. I'm undecided. But I think we're going to bring in an attacker fairly early, because needs must. Who
are you thinking? Because we had this debate last night about who City might go for if we want another wide player.
I can't.
There's not a lot of players in the world, Grizz. That's the problem. There's not a lot of available players in the world.
Oh no. There's hundreds of players in the world. Hundreds of players. You just got to find them and maybe turn them into superstars.
But one last thing, Grizz. One last thing. What do you need this winter to get you through the season to guarantee top 4?
Certainly not a hat, because you've got one of them.
I flip-flopped. It was midfielder until Diaz and Jota out for 2 months minimum. It was midfielder. I don't give a shit. Give me a midfielder. Now, I'm in the minority because I done a poll on my Twitter the other day. Out of 10,000 votes nearly, it was about 9,000. 64% wanted a midfielder still. I'm in the 36% that are adamant we need a forward.
When's Jota back?
2 months.
Oh, still 2 months from now.
Hold on, you really have 2 fit forwards. That's
Correct.
it.
Correct.
You're going through the festive periods with 2 fit forwards.
Correct. Well, Bobby's small time. He's going to be back in about a week, 10 days. But still, calf muscle's calf muscle. This is my point. But Liverpool fans, because we're so nasty in midfield for the last 6 to 10 months, they want a midfielder. I get it. And of course, long-term wise, it's 100% midfielder. But you just said it. We've got Mohamed Salah and Nunez and Bobby Firmino, who's just got a calf strain, picked it up. He wasn't playing against you lot. That's why. Man City, I should say, not you lot.
But Carvalho is not one of the guys.
Carvalho's not ready, is he? Carvalho is
for the future. This is my thing. I've always been a defender of Henderson, right? Always. I think his passing range is so underrated, and think as a leader is well, he's won everything as a leader domestically, right? The World Cup we saw came for me was not our captain, it was Henderson. But the one thing is, when Henderson looked bad for England, it frustrated me because it was the same way he's looked bad for Liverpool when he's having to run the channels. That's not his job, not his age. He should not have to run channels, right? Maybe that's why he's running channels, because you've got the injuries. But if it's going to lead to that, or Ox running the channels, I get it. You need to get someone in, but it's just. So you need 2 in January, right?
We need 2
minimum.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, it's the minimum, but it's very unlikely that we do. No, it's not going to happen that we get more than 2. But if we, like Mo asked, to get top 4, we have to bring in someone. Otherwise, I'm not going to be confident. I'm still going to be fairly confident, not overly confident. But if we bring in 2 players, and if one of them is Caicedo, then I'll be very comfortable. Yeah, I love him.
Risky though. It is risky.
Oh no. Moises Caicedo. No.
It's mad because I'm still.
I've seen enough,
I'll be honest,
man.
I feel that Amrabat. If you man get Amrabat, I think that's going to help.
Amrabat is good. I'm not. See, the thing is, as we were discussing earlier with Bilal with another caller, it doesn't mean I'm shitting on the other player and thinking, nah, he's rubbish. I just want Moises Caicedo above most. Even if you offered me Frankie de Jong, who else is available? There's a few midfielders available in the world right now, linked with other teams, whatever.
If you got Frankie de Jong, that would be
Grizz. If you get Amrabat, you'll have 2 Arabs. You will beat City that had only one Mahrez. So
yeah, now I know what you mean. Now I know what you mean, Daps.
I'll be a little bit of a red at that time.
Now I know what you mean, Daps.
Well, I'm. If you got de Jong, that would be hilarious. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying, there's other players.
That would be the joke, the biggest joke, the biggest prank to ever happen in the Premier League if you get de Jong.
No, not for me. But do you know what I mean? There is players out there, and I know we've got our eyes on a few players, but it's a tricky scenario with the ownership change, how we go about tackling the next 6 months. It's exciting, but nervous at the same time. It could go pear-shaped badly, or we could finally compete on a financial level as well. Bilal, did you want to come in?
Yeah, no, listen, when I heard Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to be that guy for a few months,
look,
alarm bells are ringing. Yeah, alarm bells are ringing. I'm not going to lie, I didn't even think that was... And obviously, he was meant to play the full game, right? The other day, came on for a bit.
He was ill, yeah. He didn't start. He came in at half-time.
But Wilfred Zaha's available. Probably he's going to leave on a free. If he doesn't sign that new deal with Palace, you could probably get him for 20-25 million. And he can play left wing, up front, right wing. For me, if Liverpool now, I'm deep in their situation.
We've been linked. Right? We've been linked with Tony Pulisic. There's nothing in that rumor as well, so I want to finish that. We're not interested in Tony Pulisic.
I think you need just someone who's going to bang straight away. Zaha's guaranteed Premier League winger, really one of the best in the league at taking on his man. Yeah. Reliable, rarely gets injured. always a problem in every single game he plays. 20, 25 million. I know his age is the only problem with him, but I think
Short
that's
term.
a deal
If
you
we're
should do.
talking
Yeah,
short
short term. Yeah. And if Liverpool are tight with money, but you need 2 players, then go and get Musa. Musa, 25, 30 million, right? Valencia barely have money. He's available for that kind of...
He's on. I believe he's on a list of targets. Yunus Musa. I don't know what you guys think of him. Played
I
for
don't know enough
USA.
about him. Comment
I
on
don't
him,
know
bro.
enough about it.
Valencia performed really well for USA.
Arsenal
Again,
boy.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why,
Musa.
that's why I know him.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What you need top player to get you past. Anyway, I want to ask Bilal one thing. Bilal, give me a percentage. How confident are you're winning the league before we go off?
Talk to me after I see Joao Felix wearing
Look at this
Arsenal
man.
colours.
Look at this man. Doesn't want to
What?
say anything.
No, listen. For me, it all stems down to if we can get Joao Felix in. I know Mudryk, this deal, I feel like it's going to happen because of Zinchenko, because of Arteta, all of that. I think Mudryk's definitely going to happen. But if we can get Joao Felix as well, then I'm starting to feel confident that we can.
And they both
win
land.
this league
They
title.
both land smoother than an EasyJet pilot.
I was going to say before we I want to read this super chat and then I want to ask you guys one question. I want to ask Daps one question. Kudos and Casado in January will be perfect, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
That's a good shout.
That's kind of a dream, right? You get both. That's kind of a dream, right?
So,
Kudos, that's a good shout.
I don't think it's an unrealistic dream. These two. That's what I'm going to say. Do you need? Are you? Daps, anything in the January? Do you think you guys need to do, or no? It's all good as long as there's no long-term injuries, which I don't believe there is. Or are you looking at a position just to double up, just in case? Anything like that?
It's interesting. Me and Mo had a conversation yesterday about City's long-term need for a winger, and I get that because Mahrez is 31. On the left, Grealish and Foden, do we want to drop one of them deeper? And if we do, then yeah, I get it long term. Maybe we do. Do you know what I really want to see? Right. So I really want to see, because Walker is coming of age now. I've said it so many times. Every season he drops five games every season, 4 or 5 games every season for the last 3-4 years. This season he's had a long period out, but he's still good enough. Now, what has irritated me with the start of this season is since Walker's been out, we've been playing with Khanage or Stones at right back, right? Now, they are not right backs, they're centre backs. They don't fit the system. The whole talk nowadays is on systems. They don't suit the system. Riyad Mahrez has looked bad this season because he has not had a right back that suits the system behind him. He's had centre backs that don't know how to play the system when you move forward. There's no coincidence against you lot. He had Rico Lewis, who is a natural right back. Yes, young, inexperienced, but we all saw it. I asked Mo before the game, watch how this man plays. The way he inverts, he's only young, but he's old to our system because he's been playing it through the academy. So
I think you need a left back.
Straight away. So for me, I would like to see Rico Lewis get a lot more game time that then covers the right back, because everyone's been saying that. For me, the jury is very much still out on Gomez, right? Since he got a red card in the Champions League, Pepper's not trusted him. So if I had to just buy one player right now, it'd be a left back, another left back. I'd go in again for
Bernard Sosa
or oh no, we're not going to get him. But the guy that we didn't get that I want,
David Raum.
Yeah, I would
from
like David
Germany,
Raum,
from
but,
RB Leipzig.
for me, I have more faith in Rico Lewis, although he's younger, on the right than I do Gomez on the left. So I would go for a left back. Apart from that, look, we can't be greedy, can we? So I'm going to say no.
This team is stacked now.
Yeah, they need to figure out how to get Grealish going. That's what you need to figure out, because now I'm looking at Grealish.
Not Grealish going.
I mean, not selling. I mean, like, get him actually performing.
Grealish needs
week
to
in, week
continue
out.
his improvement he was showing. Ultimately, that's what he needs to do. I think it got to a point where I think Grealish is doing what Pep wants him to do. Ball retention, don't force passes, only play passes when you know you can. But towards the last few weeks before we broke for the World Cup, Pep came out and said, I want to see, like, I've spoke with Grealish about, you're doing everything I want outside of the box, but in the box, don't look for another pass. Try and be a killer. And I saw him trying. He wasn't finding his range. What I want to see is him continue the improvement of doing what Pep wants, But ultimately, for 100 million, yes, he needs to find his range. And however much GA, we don't want to talk on it, it is relevant. Let's be clear. GA is part of the game. We need to see some. For 100 million, if it gets to the end of the season and it's still like that, it's like, come on, man, we can't back you forever, bro. We love you, and we see you're playing Pep's style and you're doing what Pep asks. Now start adding a bit more to it, please. So, yeah, but it's probably left back.
Less than 20 GA is unacceptable for 100 million.
Oh, my God.
It's
But
not 100 million. You'd be serious.
They took Lukaku back on loan.
Lukaku had 25 plus.
Well, not
30 plus.
Not Chelsea when you
season.
signed him.
Anyway.
Mo Daps, as always, been a pleasure, man. We're going to keep it moving. Look after yourself.
Have a great Christmas, and everyone that subscribes, keep up the great work, and I will see you in a couple of days, probably. So,
all the best, my guys.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourselves. Take care, man.
Guys.
Wicked. We're gonna try to get Nippon back. Let's see. Hopefully, he sorted this shit out. Hi, Nippon.
Finally, it didn't mute me this time round. How are you doing, guys?
We're doing very well, man. Take the floor. The floor is yours. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Before I get to the football thing, I wanted to ask both of you this question. It's going to be the only question not football related. Since you are both Muslims, I'm just asking you, since it would be more appropriate if I asked you than anyone else. What are your thoughts on Mo Salah posting that Christmas image? Because I know a lot of you guys don't celebrate Christmas.
I have no thoughts on it, positive or negative. He can do what he wants. He's an individual. He's a grown-ass man, a father of, is it 2, 1?
I don't know. I know he has a little daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has another kid.
I don't feel in any way, shape, or form to have a right to have an opinion on someone, a grown-ass man like that. That's his personal beliefs either way. Good luck to him. That's all I say.
Okay. What about you, Bilal?
Yeah, echo the same thoughts. He's his own man. He can post what he wants. He can celebrate what he wants.
Absolutely.
He can live how he wants. Yeah. Mohamed Salah, he knows what he's doing. You know, that's his life. I don't think anyone has a right to be honest, I don't think anyone really has a right, especially it's been for years you've been seeing him like doing this. Just let him live. That's what he wants to do. Makes him happy, makes his family happy. Yeah, just leave. Yeah.
Because I put on Twitter saying celebrating Christmas doesn't make you any less of a Muslim.
Well, let's move on to the football chat, if you don't mind, Nippon.
Of course.
Let's get into it. What would you like to speak about?
So sorry, I said that earlier on, by the way.
No problem at all.
No, it's fine. It's Grizz's fault. He asked for non-football questions earlier, so blame him.
You got me.
Love you guys. But yeah, all I'm gonna say is you guys showed some fight in that Man City game.
Are you talking about me or Bilal? Or Liverpool? Because you got to remember Arsenal and Liverpool. Okay, me. Yes.
I'm talking about Liverpool.
Go on.
Because
I hate when you come on and talk about Liverpool. I want you to talk about your club.
Okay, fine. Yeah. All I can say about my club is I won the World Cup back because both, let's be real, Grizz, both your club and my club are in the mud at this moment in time.
Why are you in the mud? What's going on?
And
how did you get out of it?
Improvements in January. And I've heard that we've been linked to this France guy. I don't want to butcher his name. Benoit Bashir.
Yeah, Badiashile, I think.
Badiashile, yeah. As an alternative to Josko Guardiola. I put out a tweet on my Twitter saying, if we're going to act like a big club, we've got to spend. And they're asking for over 100 million.
You can't. I think Bowley's trying to be clever now, man. How many centre backs have Chelsea brought? Fofana, Koulibaly, and now another one. You spend 100 million on a centre back when you can go and sign, I don't know, another midfielder that you probably need, another attacker. There's money to be spent, but you can't waste it all on centre backs. So maybe this is a good option. He was linked to Man United a few years ago, I think 2 seasons ago. He's highly rated. Yeah, Badiashile, he's been a name around. Plays for Monaco.
He hasn't been
very good player. I hope you don't get him.
Look, I can hope you don't get a lot of players.
But that's what I mean. That's how much I rate him.
Yeah, that's how much I rate Jude Bellingham as well. But look, it's all banter at the end of the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Apart from a centre back, I mean, ideally you want a striker, right? Now you've bought that for Fana. Is he on loan? I mean, sorry, is he coming at the end of the season or is he coming in now?
I think at the end of the season, we've already got Nkunku. So I'm guessing going into next season, our front three are going to be Nkunku on the left, Aubameyang up front, and Sterling on the right. And I think Mount will either be moved into midfield or dropped entirely.
I don't think Aubameyang's going to be at Chelsea next season, to be honest. Maybe if he is there, it might just be on the bench. I can see Chelsea probably getting Trossard or something, or trying to spend big money on a Rafael Leao option and playing Nkunku as a false nine. That's what I can see happening, to be honest, more than Aubameyang for another season. Don't think he suits Potter at all. So I doubt that one continues. And obviously, Raheem Sterling's there.
And I just noticed this on like a few minutes ago that you've renamed your channel to Football Khanage.
Yep. Rebrand.
Correct.
So for everyone who hasn't noticed, like Nippon as well, hit the like button. Subscribe as well if you haven't.
Subscribe
So, yeah.
to Football Khanage. Because I've been, I don't know if you watch any of my streams, but I always give you a shout out.
You're a gentleman, sir. You're an absolute gentleman. This is why we enjoy your company, and every time you're on, you're an absolute gentleman.
Yeah. So yeah, I always tell them that I'm a regular caller on your show. So
Thank you very much.
we need a new midfield. We need not a new midfield. Like we need a midfielder, like either Declan Rice or Jude Bellingham, or even. But look, I honestly think Jude Bellingham is either going to you or to Real Madrid.
I think Declan Rice is going to either you. I think you're the favourites and front runners for Declan Rice. I think we're the favourites and front runners for Jude Bellingham. I think there's quite a bit of gameplay from Rice, Caicedo, Bellingham, all of these players. There's 2-3 teams that are in and around for all of them, and Enzo Fernandez as well. There's about core of four top midfielders. So Rice, Enzo, Caicedo, Jude Bellingham, that are most certainly all leaving their clubs in the summer. Chelsea, Madrid, Liverpool, City will be amongst them. I wouldn't be surprised if each one of those clubs get one of those players.
Now, I have a question for both of you. Oh, God, I forgot. Sorry.
Not a problem, not a problem.
What I will say is Declan Rice is definitely going to Chelsea. I don't see any other team that's going to come in for him. Especially number 10 Hag at United. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I've got it. I remember
got it
now. Do you ever see your respective managers managing their national teams? Klopp at Germany or Arteta at Spain. Do you ever see Klopp managing Germany? And do you ever?
Mine's very simple. No, I don't see Klopp ever managing Germany. I think he'll be asked again and again and again. I just don't think the national team coaching suits him. He's a day-to-day with the players, all about man management. He won't be interested in that, in my opinion. Just my opinion on Arteta, I definitely see Arteta being national team manager one day. But now it's up to Bilal what he wants to say.
If you mean one day, maybe in like 30 years or
yeah.
So he's a young man. I don't see him, maybe when he's done with club football, potentially. Even Klopp maybe, but I don't feel like international football even suits Klopp. They've been talking about maybe Klopp as well in Germany. They've been saying maybe Klopp could be the national team manager one day, but I just don't see that one as well. I feel like obviously Hansi Flick's there. Who
I see succeeding Hansi Flick?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, Thomas Tuchel.
Maybe, that's something.
Yeah, he could. But again, with international football, I just feel like it's for people who, club football, maybe they're not getting the jobs. Oh, Hansi Flick was a bit different, but Bayern was really the only team that he was probably going to ever manage in terms of a club football. Unless he stuck around and waited, and then maybe a Chelsea would come up, they give him a chance again and say, okay, you can come and just look at what you've done with Bayern, Champions League, etc. But Tuchel as well. I don't see him right now going to manage a national team. think the Juventus job might come up at some point if they're still in Serie A by the end of the season. Who knows with what's going on?
That would be hilarious if, you know what, I hope they go down. I'm sorry to any Serie A or Juventus fans listening, but I hope you get relegated. That way we can cherry pick all your best players.
There's not many of the best players. They have a few.
Well, Chiesa,
yes, Chiesa, good player, 100%. Obviously, injuries have held him back. Vlahovic, definitely. If they're in trouble, Chelsea will definitely try and sign him, and I'm sure other clubs will be trying to sign a player like Vlahovic. And they've got some young players as well. Miretti, who's the other one? Fagioli. People will be looking at them. Even Rabiot now, they're saying he could. I think
someone will pick him up as well. Yeah. Someone will pick him up on a free as well.
Do you think
Maybe
you
Liverpool.
guys
Maybe
will try and
Liverpool.
sign Rabiot?
Who's we again?
You, Liverpool.
No. No. I just don't think. I think there's too much baggage around him and the way his mum deals with his affairs and sort of their reputation in the industry and asking for wages and causing issues. Yeah, I think he's a lot of work.
Is his
We
mum?
don't do a lot of work, players.
Is his mum his agent by any chance?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's always been.
Oh.
There was a story when he was 16 years old. He's going to sign for Arsenal, and I think Wenger got into an argument with his mum or something like that in terms of they didn't get on, and obviously that just didn't happen when he was 16.
Look, if I was a footballer,
So,
I would
yeah.
never have my mum as my agent. I would never have a family member as my agent. Period.
It depends. Sometimes it
Too
can
much
work well.
bakwas in the family to have anyone as my agent.
Yeah, it can get tricky, can't it?
Yeah, only Grizz understood what I said, by the way.
Yeah, bakwas means like too much.
Yeah.
Hassle, rubbish.
Yeah. I got it with the context.
With the context, yeah. I know,
context,
yeah.
of course.
You smart.
Yeah, but it can work. Like if you're Neymar and his dad, how much money has he earned throughout Neymar's career with the agent fees and etc. Instead of that going to George Mendes or obviously Managerial is not around anymore, but someone like him in the past, you can go to your dad. Even Haaland had that kind of setup as well with his deal, where his dad got a lot of the percentage as well. So sometimes it's good. It's good to have your family member if they are appropriate. If they're not appropriate, then cool, go get a proper agent and get yourself big contracts that way. Everyone's going to eat, but it can work. It can't work. It depends on the person and the people that you're dealing with.
Nippon, we must move on. We have a few callers waiting to come on.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Big up, man.
Legend. Look after yourself. Have a great week. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Oh man, I think there's going to be quite a bit of activity in it. The way we've been talking in January, there could be a bit of activity for clubs, right?
This is a summer January transfer window. This is what I'm calling.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. Because it's weird, isn't it? It's weird the way it's fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the World Cup in the middle and everything, and a lot of teams won't want to miss out on Champions League as well. So in order to cement a top 4 team, they may have to dip into the market. Mm-hmm. And there does seem to be a few players that are running down their contracts in the summer that might be available for a fee now.
Yep. Tielemans was one you mentioned a while ago. There's the Rabiot we talked about. There's Ndicka at Frankfurt. There's Trossard at Brighton.
Trossard's a very interesting one, man. Brighton, how are they going to keep... Brighton have got a lot of players that I think are going to want to leave, man. About respect to Brighton, but
it's one of those on Brighton. If they could keep their players for just a bit longer, and they signed a striker who could have scored a few more goals and finished the chances they create, they could have probably even pushed for like a top 6 position. Try to break in, at least even finish 7th. But it's one of those ones. They're always going to have to sell like one big player at least. But the money they're making, man. They're making
serious.
Serious money.
People, I have I gone there? No, I'm here. Any topic, any club, any agenda, you run it. Channel members get first priority and then new callers. Here's the link. Go smash up that link, come through, have a chat. We're gonna go on for a little while longer, not too long. We've got another caller waiting to come on. I recognize this brother. Bilal, I don't know if you remember this brother.
I remember.
We need to talk. Natraj, hope you're doing very well, my friend. How are you? You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, now I'm all right. I'm on vacation in Poland and I'm having fun here. The Christmas markets are fantastic. I think Poland is a place anybody should come visit, especially during the Christmas time. It's quite nice here. So yes, we have things to talk about. Absolutely. Well, apparently United is up for sale, which makes me so happy. And if we follow the news reports during the World Cup, Joe Glazer was in Qatar talking to potential owners. And then after the World Cup, we are hearing that United is prepared to pay 120 million for Enzo Fernandez, despite knowing very well that the club is close to bankruptcy and we are basically running paycheck to paycheck. That tells me that the club, like we are going to see new owners come in probably within 2 weeks of the end of season. Like this is not going to last long. They are now going for a fire. They are basically they're burning through the company credit card at this point. They did it for the summer transfers as well. Like that's how we got Anthony. That's how we got Casemiro. It was all on basically United's credit card. It was not like, of course, Glazers would never pay money. The bunch of words. But yeah, good to see. Glad. Do it. Don't care. United is big enough. We will be fine if we have semi-competent owners. I just need them gone.
Can I ask, before we get into some of your points and statements that you made the last time you was on, we will not forget. We will bring that back
of
to
course
light.
not. Yes.
We'll bring back that to light. Just very quickly, by the way, AR Tizzy saying, Grizz, why do you think the Liverpool embargo is at Christmas Day? I explained that at the start, my friend, because they done the press conference a fair few days before actually match day. What the media does is try to save content for the day before. Embargoes usually embargoed for the day on the same day. So, for example, if a press conference is at 1 p.m., they release that press conference and then they embargo it for about 10:30. But in these situations, when there's 3-4 days to go, what they do is just split it up. There's absolutely no going to be announcement of a player or new owners in a press conference, I assure you. But if you feel the need to watch the embargoed section, there may be a little bit tidbits from Jurgen Klopp. With back to Man United and the ownership and new owners and you guys, not you guys, you being excited, looking forward to these guys getting out of your club. What do you expect the new owners to do that is different from these owners?
Don't eat away the club's money. That's a decent, that alone will make such a giant difference. Because United, despite the fact that we haven't won the title in over 10 years, almost over 10 years at this point, it's been 9 years. Despite winning only 2 major trophies in the past 9 years, basically two major trophies. United still generates a ridiculous amounts of money. Like commercial revenue wise, United is still one of the top clubs in the world. Definitely among the top 2 or top 3 in the country. That's not even a question. Like City now, and given their dodgy books, I don't know. But Liverpool, sure, because of their recent success, they have signed really good deals about sponsorships. So they are doing well. Other than that, we are right on top of that. Like we are very self-sustainable. But the problem is the Glazers ate away at the money like madness. We have spent over £1 billion on players and you can't see any of it on the pitch. They have all gone. Pogba gone, Lukaku gone, Sanchez gone, Ronaldo gone. Like all the money is up in smoke. The cash reserves are dead. So the club is now at a point where selling it is the only option.
Selling it is the easy option.
No, but there is no other option.
No, that's what I mean. Because
nobody else is going to invest in the club under the Glazer ownership because they can see how badly they are running the club.
But
the roof is leaking at Old Trafford.
What I'm saying is, this is my question to you. What makes you think? Is there any evidence or proof, or is it a case of just getting these guys out? And then whatever comes in, we just hope that they're better custodians of our club. Because it's easy to say we want them out. But these guys have spent over £1 billion trying to regain
of the club's money.
Of course, but how do you know the new owner won't continue doing that?
Okay, so first of all, we know that the leverage buyout that the Glazers used to buy Man United, that's not allowed anymore. We saw that during the Chelsea's ownership, that Todd Bowley had to show sufficient funds so that he's not going to leverage the club into buying into debt in order to buy the club itself. So that's part one. Second part is the club right now is so expensive. Like anybody who comes to buy United right now, it's direct 5 billion wiped out right away. Just the price tag of the club itself. On top of that, rebuilding Old Trafford is another billion and a half down the river. On top of that, rebuilding the training facilities, that's another 500 million in the gutter. So anybody who can afford that kind of an overtaking, they have to have their own money, because there is no other way. That's what I mean. The cash reserves at United is gone. So there is absolutely no way to leverage the club anymore. So it's not just about what are the chances that the next owners will do better. It's that they are legal. Like there is literally no other way to actually. There is no exploitation avenue for the club. So that's basically the reason. And plus, it's really hard to be worse than the Glazers. The only other option I can think of is Mike Ashley in recent times for what he did to Newcastle. Other than that,
what kind of owners are you looking for in terms of what do new owners need to come in and do straight away for your club to become successful in Europe, not only domestically but Europe as well, where a lot of Man United will feel they need to be? Because you are, how far off do you think you are? Because first and foremost, let's start segueing back to your last chat. Last time we spoke to you, you thought you're probably one of the best teams in the country equipped. You claimed to have the best defensive partnership in the Premier League. What else did he claim, Bilal? We ran the tapes on Twitter. Are you on Twitter, Natraj, by any chance?
I am.
Did you see the clip of video we put out on Twitter of you claiming?
I'm not sure.
You missed it. Oh, you missed it. Okay.
I'll be back. No worries.
Message. Can you make sure you private message your Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Because
sure.
Can you remind us, Bilal, or do you remember? Or can you remind us some of?
I remember Lisandro, as you said, best centre back partnership with Varane. I believe.
With Varane, yeah.
That you were. I don't know, you said something about Ten Hag, maybe. But basically, it was funny. I think United lost. Did they lose the next game?
I think they lost. Yeah, I think they lost the next.
Was it Villa?
Yeah, the next 2-3 they lost. I think next two they
something
lost.
Happened
something like that.
after.
Oh, Villa. Yeah, you had no issues about going to Villa and winning. I think Villa turned you over.
Yeah, I was very confident about going to Villa.
So where are you now?
It was disappointing.
Where are you now in your assessment of Man United? About 2 months later. Where are you now in your assessment of Man United? Where are you in the league? Remind us.
I think it's really hard to tell.
Why is it so hard to? So why is it so hard?
Yeah. Okay, let me say why. Okay, first of all, we had 15 players gone from the squad for the World Cup. Now that we are all back, let's see how everybody does, because there is this season is so unique in this terms. How everybody is going to pick up, we don't know. Nobody knows. Whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Man City, nobody knows how well they're going to pick up the form immediately afterwards of a World Cup like this. And plus, not to mention, our main two centre-backs, they went to the finals. So, and plus Varane, I think Varane ultimately ran out of gas in the extra time, so he had to come off. But all these factors, how they're gonna affect them, we don't know. Brazil getting knocked out early. Casemiro seems fine. He played against Burnley. He did okay from a centre back position. He played from the deep. He was switching plays. He showed an aspect of the game that we generally don't get to see. But that's fine. Other than that, Rashford seems doing well. Martial is fit for now, but now Ronaldo is gone. Martial is the only one we have left. If we are gonna do some business in January, we don't know how that's gonna change the dynamics of the team. We don't know how many players are we gonna let go in January, and who are we terminating contracts of. We don't know. That's what I think the next 2 years is gonna be a massive overhaul of the team.
Can I just butt in there, because
Sure.
2 months ago you was very confident. You didn't give me any don't knows. You was very definitive.
No, I did.
And positive.
I did.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
No. Let me finish. You gave a few definitives.
Yeah.
Now, only 2 months later, 6 to 8 weeks later, you're giving pretty much don't know to every answer. You said yourself at the end of every sentence, don't know, don't know, don't know. I'm thinking, what's changed in that 6 to 8 weeks? The World Cup scenario is viable, is relevant to all the top clubs. Unfortunately, that's the way it is when you're a top club. You have players going away. We had loads. Man City had loads. You had loads. Chelsea had loads. Everyone has loads. I want to know what's changed in terms of your opinion on the Erik ten Hag. You said probably one of the best coaches around. You said the best man for the job.
That I still say so.
You know, and I can't remember, maybe someone in the chat can remind us of the other claims. You're not so definitive now. Why is that?
Okay, so I have always at least maintained this in my group chats and every place else. I think the next 2 years, at least the first 3 years under Ten Hag, was going to be very crucial in terms of the team overhaul. So now, because now we are at a point where we are seeing what are the contract situations of everyone, right? So like De Gea is not getting a new contract. If he gets a new contract, it will be for a reduced salary and he will get the number 2 position. So we are in the market for a goalkeeper. That has cleared out now during the World Cup. Ronaldo's whole nonsense, it happened after our chat, and his contract was terminated before the World Cup.
I don't know if you remember, I did tell you about Ronaldo. I did warn you about the Ronaldo situation. You was adamant that it's fine and it's under control. I think you was, again, adamant that it's fine, it's under control. Ten Hag has dealt with it. Ten Hag has dealt with it perfectly, wonderfully. And you're happy, and you was happy to be Ronaldo to be part of your squad and team.
Okay, the whole point is it's fine. He stays as long as he understands where his position is in the squad. He wasn't happy with it. He did that stupid interview that made him look worse, and now he's going to go play in Saudi Arabia because no European club wants him.
Is he a legend? Is he a legend? Has he ruined his legacy for you?
No. I mean, United has a history of this. Roy Keane was fired over a match analysis, for fuck's sake, and people still chant his name. Cantona left, Beckham left, Nistelrooy left. Everybody left on bad terms. Ultimately, with one of the greatest managers ever seen in the UK. But like, it's not like we hate them. Yeah, it leaves a sour taste for now, but it's not going to change the fact that what he did for us in his first stint, how he came back, the hat tricks he scored against, for example, against Norwich. The day he came back, he scored a brace against Newcastle. Like, all these things are not going to change.
I think the Man United fans, sorry to interrupt, I think the Man United match-going fans are not happy with him at all. They've cut ties. There was a chant the other day at the Burnley game.
Ronnie doesn't care about me.
Yeah, Ronnie doesn't care about me.
Yeah, that has been going on before the World Cup.
Listen, you don't sing those kind of songs about your legend, you know. You wouldn't put him in that. So for me, I think he's ruined his legacy at Man United.
That's an old chant, by the way. That's not a new one. That's an old one.
But they're singing it in this context with Ronaldo, with everything that he's done.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
so I think the same chant it started back in 2009 when he was going to go to Madrid, and again he started a lot of nonsense on the press back then as well. That is his nature. We are like, I can only speak for myself. Man United fan base, just like Liverpool, just like Arsenal, is really, really big. We can't speak for everybody. We can only speak from our own perspectives. From my perspective, I don't give a shit. What he did, he left. I'm glad he left because it is a win-win for both parties. Now he's going to go to Saudi Arabia, make tons of money, which is important as a professional footballer. Their careers as players are not always this long. Ronaldo is blessed in that regard.
But has he jeopardized your season? Because you could have done without this. By now, got rid of him. You should have got rid of him in the summer, like I suggested. And a lot of Man United fans were like, "Oh, you're angry and bitter." Okay, I wish you didn't. I wish you done the right thing for me anyway.
Later,
but the right thing was to get rid of him. He's jeopardized your chances now. Very what do you think now? Are you still confident of having a successful season? And what is a successful season for you now?
I still think top four and like top four is still a successful season given how good the other three teams are playing. I don't know how Arsenal's season is going to go down from here, given the injury to Gabriel Jesus, if they're going to bring in somebody. So I think January window is so crucial for all the top clubs right now. We don't know what kind of transfer, we don't know what kind of business each club is going to do. So for us, for example, there is connection to Cody Gakpo. Joao Felix on loan is an option for 6 months. That has been floating around for all the top clubs. So we don't know that. I think Arsenal and United might actually have to fight it out for Joao Felix, for all I know. So there are a bunch of options right now that we are not so sure. So I think that's a big problem. A lot of it was depending on whether the first starting 11 that Ten Hag was starting to recognize and play week in week out was that starting 11 going to continue for the whole season. Now that we have gone through the World Cup, let's see how many of them deal with the fatigue well. So if we see Rashford didn't play that much in knockout stages, I think he'll be fine. Martial should be fine, fingers crossed. He has a bad injury record. Sancho clearly has some issues that he's dealing with off the pitch, and Ten Hag is dealing with it by giving him the time he needs. Anthony is there, he'll be fine. Bruno will be fine. Casemiro will be fine. So we have a decent spine that should be fine. But outside of that, there is always a chance of an accident. There is always a chance of an injury. And like I said in our previous chat before, we don't have the squad depth in terms of quality. So will that hurt us? Nobody knows. But I'm still confident in terms of our progression that we will see a direction that United is taking. And we will see that under Ten Hag, we have a guaranteed philosophy that he wants us to play in. We see patterns of play. We see certain certain positions that players take. That is actually showing that United now has an identity. Now, how much we cement it, that depends on the quality of the players.
Absolutely. So you was very confident of finishing top four. In a word, are you finishing top four? Are you equally as confident of finishing the top four now?
I think no. I think it will depend on what we do in January a lot. Because
that's fair.
Because when we talked, we didn't expect Arsenal to keep going through the run. We didn't expect that Chelsea gonna catch up with Graham Potter. Most of all, we didn't expect Newcastle to be as good as they are. Nobody expected that. So Eddie Howe really is pulling off some magic tricks here. So there are so we have three main contenders, in my opinion: United, Chelsea, and Newcastle for the top four. Now, who does what business and how does that affect their team dynamics? That is going to dictate a lot of the stuff.
Nat Raj, it's been equally fun. I've interviewed I had an agenda. I did.
It's all.
But I know you're a character and a personality that can take it, and that's why I interviewed and questioned like that. It's always fun. It's been as pleasurable as it was the first time.
It's really pleasure talking to you guys.
It was really good fun.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Hope you guys stay healthy and your family, and take care.
You are a lovely person. Thank you very much. All the best, my friend. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Big up, man.
You know, it's funny because this the super chat came through, and obviously I tried to sort of make the super chat sort of come relevant to what we're talking about, and this one was the last call humbled him. Football's a humbler, and Nat Raj today was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
He was. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not as confident. Football is a humbler. This is what we tell everyone, Bilal, right? 6 to 8 weeks can change stuff. He was very confident. They've got the best manager, the best centre-back pairing, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sancho. Football's a humbler.
Yeah, it's a mad game that we follow. Week in, week out, things change. And with Man United now, they're in a weird position because I've been reading, of course, as well, what's going on with Man United, and even Natraj said it there. The cash reserves at the club pretty much gone. The Glazers have obviously finished that club financially. The stadium needs repairing, £1 billion. They wasted £1 billion on transfers, and now the Man United fans that are telling me that this takeover is going to happen. The Glazers seem to want 6 to 7 billion, so it only screams maybe a Saudi Dubai consortium or something comes together and buys a club. Is that likely? I don't know, but the Man United fans seem to be positive. And then when you're seeing stories like Enzo Fernandez, 100 million, to Man United, it can't be the Glazers doing that. You know what I mean?
It can be, but see, this is the thing. I disagree with that because I don't think spending money is an issue for Man United. They've spent the most.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, it just keeps becoming debt on top of debt on top because it's not the Glazers' money.
They don't care. They just don't care about the club. This is my point. This is why I'm baffled in terms of Man United. No, I get why Man United want them out of the club, but if there's no direction and if there's no due diligence done, not only from incoming parties, but the parties that are selling to who they're selling to, it can go pear-shaped. Just like the Liverpool situation as well, I agree. But I feel, and I think I'm right in saying Liverpool is a far more stable club to be buying right now in terms of the structure, the training ground is fixed, everything, commercial deals are in place. The only thing Liverpool Football Club need is investment in the first team. Whereas Man United need investment in the first team,
everywhere,
investment in the squad, the training ground, the ground itself, the structure, recruitment of people in that structure.
And then they're asking for 67 billion. That's why I don't understand. And I know the Man United fans are optimistic right now. They seem to believe something's going to happen in terms of a takeover. But with this Glazer ownership, honestly, I know you're saying they don't care about the club, but yeah, go on.
Pyramid scheme, if you'd like to come on and correct me, please do so. Otherwise, if you are going to be rude, because I've read a couple of your messages and then I've tried to ignore. But if you're going to carry on acting like a prick, I will block you from my channel. This is my channel. You speak respectfully to me and I will speak respectfully for you. You have now the opportunity to come in and tell me about United fans, have a debate with me, have a chat with me. I won't stop you or interrupt you. So he says, Grizz is actually clueless about United finances. If United spend any more than 100 million, we will find ourselves under investigation under FFP watch. No problem. Come in and debate me and chat to me. Otherwise, talk respectfully or I will block your ass, you prick. Yeah. I just hate dickheads like that who think like I'm just like, I'm sat here on Sky Sports and I'm going to be all like, so I let people talk shit on my thing. If you want to come in and chat, tell me.
Yeah, show your face.
Show me your face, man. Come on,
no
and we
face,
talk.
No case.
Yeah, that's why I big up Natraj, man. I didn't agree with anything he said the first time round. Do you remember the first time around he came? He came with his chest, said, man, you're not going to do this. I loved it. At least he showed his face and he came with chest. And 100%. Now he's come back and his football's a humble. He's humbled. You know what I mean? Now this guy just making little cheeky comments, sat in his box room. Get out of here. Clueless.
Yeah,
anyway.
Honestly, it's a Man United talk, man. And you know what? We'll see. If they spend this kind of money, we've seen Barcelona, Juventus just over the last few years, right? If you keep on mismanaging your finances, it will catch up no matter how much you don't care, how much you think you can leverage Man United because of the supposed value of the club. You know, you can still leverage all this money and sign players left, right, and center. But at a certain point, we saw the great Barcelona, you know.
Probably the best example in recent times, right?
Exactly. One of the greatest institutions. And look at the mess they're in. There's penny pinching, you know, playing with the salaries and doing all sorts. But at least I think that they're trying to get things under control. And it's not even as bad, really and truly, like the Man United situation, because the Barcelona situation, of course, you know how they have socios, members and all that sort of stuff. It's not a Glazer owning the club, and they're really and truly trying to sell the club at the highest price as possible so they can just obviously run away. But we'll see. It's interesting. I think the next few months we'll start clearing up the Man United takeover, the Liverpool takeover if it happens. But yeah, as you said, Liverpool right now, they're in a good position in terms of off the field. Everything's kind of sorted. On the field, of course, investments need to happen. But as soon as those investments happen, everything should fall into place. But with Man United,
it should. You're right.
Long work.
It's a lot of work at Man United, and don't get me wrong, they're a massive, huge club, one of the biggest in the world, if not in the top 3 in the world. Like still, like in terms of what they can achieve off the pitch, because of off the pitch, they can achieve that on the pitch. Like they're miles off it on the pitch, but off the pitch, They just need the right people in charge to guide them in the right way with the best of intentions, and that's what it is. People, there's still 300 of you in here. I hope you've smashed the like button to bits. We've got about 15-20 minutes to go. We have spaces now. A couple of people have dropped out of the chat, so we have spaces now. Suddenly, if you want to call in, talk about anything, get your questions in. We're here for about 15 minutes, Bilal? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe if nobody wants to come in, we might not. But yeah, is there anything that you wanted to speak about? Because it seems to be very Liverpool orientated today. Well, a bit of Man United chat.
Well, first thing I was going to say, I think we're close to 200 likes at least, guys. Come on, a couple more likes.
We're not. Are we still not up to 200 likes? Even?
Yeah, come on now. Nearly 300 people. Come on, hit the like button for the. I think we're giving you a good show today. To be honest, like, I've enjoyed the chat.
Always, you know what? The callers have been fantastic, man. You know what I mean? Different varieties, different opinions. Michael was angry about Nunez. We had
this chat was funny, yeah.
But it's a bit extreme, innit, on both sides.
People just frustrated. Yeah, listen, I get it. During the game, like for Arsenal, I'm saying for Arsenal now, and I'm watching Jesus. I'm like, bro, you've missed like 3 chances in a row. Like, what? Any chance, any danger, mate? You're gonna score a goal. That's during the game. I'm emotional. I'm watching, but after the game, I look at him. I'm like, you know what? He had a good game today. I think with Darwin, as we keep saying, just give it time. It's one of those ones. We don't have enough of a database of him in the Premier League yet. Once we get it after 6 months, 12 months, then
judge him.
Talking. Yeah, it's too early right now.
It's just mad. I don't get it. Like, I get the tribalism from opposite. I expect you to take the piss. I expect Man United to take the piss. I expect Man City to take the piss. Everyone, because the price tag and everything. I expect everyone. When you get a chance, you jump on next man's head. You know what I mean? Because banter is tribalism. But if you take that away and you sit down and there's a football chat, have a real football chat, football person to football show, not looking for likes on Twitter, not looking for subs, not looking. If you just have a normal chat, you're mad to just write him off after 3 months or whatever of actual playing time. You're mad, 100%. Right?
100%. You would be a bit of a fool. Even, how many players have we seen not perform for 1 year, then the next year they're banging? Even I remember Harry Kane. Like, how many loans did he go on? For a while, it didn't look like Harry Kane was going to do anything in the Premier League. Then all of a sudden, I had one season where he slapped like more than 20 goals. Then the rest was history for him in terms of being just a top Premier League striker. He needs a just in time. That's an English player I'm talking about who's grown up in this country, come through the system, and still took him a while. Guys like Jamie Vardy. Sometimes, honestly, Jamie Vardy, what age did he come into the Premier League and start?
Yeah, late developer, very much like Ian Wright. Remember?
Exactly, right. All of these guys. Darwin, of course, 22, and his career 2 years ago was in Almeria, I believe, right? So he's had to work hard to get to the Benfica, then now to get to Liverpool. So just give him a bit of time. As I said, 6 months. I'm even being, I think, maybe a bit harsh. Just give him these 6 months, and then you can really judge him and see what he's about. Because I think he's going to have so many minutes, so many games, and the Champions League that's going to come up against Real Madrid is going to be a great fixture. I expect him to start in that game. There's so much football to play, man. So yeah,
100%. So yeah, a lot of people there's a couple of people in the chat asking about this Felix chat to Arsenal, Man United. I can't remember the journalist's name. He is a French journalist, quite respected.
Le Ten Sport, Alexis Bernard, I believe.
Alexis Bernard. I don't know if you can find that for us. What do you think of this then? As an Arsenal fan, I think Felix is ready to explode like at another club, major club that suits his attacking style, that endorses his talents.
Yep.
Atletico Madrid and Simeone ain't that club and ain't that coach. Arteta 100% is, and I think Ten Hag is as well. So it's true they had conversation. Go for it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This is just Fabrizio now, just confirming. Of course, they've had conversations with his agent. Depends on the condition of the deal, because if it's more than 100 million, I think it's going to be difficult. Of course, that's a transfer fee, but we know he's not going to be signed for 100 million. He's going on loan right now, right, for 6 months. Whether there's an option to buy, no one's made that clear yet. But we know 8 million with his wages, which I believe is about 250,000. You pay that all together, I think someone said it's 13 million. I can't do the maths like off the top of my head. So I think it's about 13 million euros altogether, or 13 million pounds rather, to get him in right now for 6 months. I think it's a deal worth doing. And then in the summer, you talk to Aleti. If he's done well over 6 months, you're like, you know what? I want to either trigger that option, or let's just have a negotiation about him, because I'm sure if he does well at Arsenal for 6 months and he feels comfortable, obviously he'd want to stay, right? We did it with Odegaard, with Real Madrid. Odegaard, we signed him in January on loan. He did okay. He wasn't special, but he's got a goal in the North London derby. It was a lockdown, I believe, still at that point when he's come out. I can't remember fans that much in the stadium. It was, I think it was lockdown, right? So he's come in for 6 months. Was okay, but signed that actual permanent transfer now with Arsenal from Real Madrid. And look, he's a captain of the club now. So there's recent history, let alone players of the past like Thierry Henry, signed him, from the Serie A, wasn't really doing much, comes to Arsenal, still maybe for a little bit wasn't that guy, but then look how we turned him into a player. Gabriel Jesus wasn't Man City's first choice striker, right? Playing right wing, playing off the bench, getting his minutes where he could. Sometimes, of course, the big games, he'd show up in the Champions League, but we signed him. And look, we've seen what we've done so far. So I think there's history there that a player like Felix can come to Arsenal with his ability as well. In terms of playing that false nine, linking up with the players that we have, it could be a good deal. And it's one that I would definitely do. So I'm assuming you rate Felix.
I'm a massive fan, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have lost trust in him, or faith, or whatever you want to call it, like saying, oh man, but he could have done more and whatever. Look, there is a case to be made that despite him being under Simeone, he still could have done more, should have done more. But he's a young man.
Mm-hmm.
He went there very young and a heavy price tag. Atletico at that time weren't known to spend big. Then they suddenly went 100 million euros on Felix. You know what I mean? A lot of the big clubs wanted him, but nobody was willing to pay that much for him. But I think he's perfect for either a club. I think he walks into maybe not City's attack
because of Haaland. But you know what? Even with Man
maybe
City,
not our attack. Apart from Liverpool and City's attack when everyone's fit, I think he walks into everyone else's.
It depends on how Liverpool would want to play, because I think if you had a Joao Felix, he would, because of Firmino, the way Firmino role. But it's a way.
No, we're talking Salah, Jota, Diaz, for example. That's our front three.
I would, in terms of goals, right? In terms of pure goals, I would go Jota. If you got Felix, I say.
If you play Felix behind them three, you're cooking. And then if you got Caicedo and Fabinho, or Caicedo or Thiago in midfield, then you're cooking. You're really.
I guess so. But I think.
But the point being, I love him. I think Felix. I'd hate it if he comes to the Premier League, not to us, whoever he goes to. And the fact that a lot of Portuguese, he would have looked at a lot of Portuguese making it a success here, man. We could go through a lot of Portuguese players, right? Silva, Ronaldo, Jota, Diaz,
Ruben Neves,
the lads at Wolves.
Listen, I think he'd be really good at Arsenal. To be fair, if I was to pick a team for him in the Premier League to join before Haaland, it would have been Man City or it would have been Arsenal. I think those two teams just suit the way he plays. The best. Even potentially a Man United, but even when you watch Man United play,
not even Man United,
Yeah, he'd probably do well there. But I think Man United is screaming more for like an Osimhen type of striker. The way, I don't know, just when I watch United,
I hear you. I hear that.
Striker, they would be better. Yeah, but I look at Felix. He just screams like he would be a successor at Arsenal. So I'd get him in. I think I can just imagine him doing little flicks with Odegaard already, and just like making players.
It would just be about the balance. Look, I can absolutely see him playing in a Smith Rowe type. So if Smith Rowe is the current sort of player for that role, I think Felix is levels above him as of now. Yeah.
In terms of false nine or
whatever Smith Rowe does for you.
But yeah, Smith Rowe, to be fair, he's obviously been injured. And for me, like, I think his future at Arsenal, if he's going to really be a starter in the team every week, right, he has to figure out how to play in that left centre mid role that Xhaka's been playing, being that number 10, like attacking. And with Zinchenko in the team now, if Zinchenko's fit and he covers those spaces, probably in the midfield, controlling the game more, I think Smith Rowe is going to be really good there with the likes of Martinelli, obviously wide, and then you get Felix. And then for me, the beauty of it, if you got a Felix in, right, we know Jesus is going to come back. And with Jesus, he wasn't.
They could
really
work
scoring many-
together, man.
They could work together, exactly. This is the thing. Jesus he can play out wide if he has to. He can play through the middle if he has to. It's just versatility, it's options. And yeah, I think this for me, this is such a no-brainer. I just hope it happens, but we'll see. Who knows? Even the Arsenal fan base, though, as I said, they love Mudryk. They've been the propaganda's been too much. They want Mudryk more than anyone. I would take Mudryk 100%. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like for what we need now, with the Jesus injury, surely this is an option we have to take. I don't see any other player that we could sign right now. You know, even Vlahovic.
I think there's legs in this. You know, I think it's time to be excited if you're an Arsenal fan.
We'll see. We will see.
I'm telling you, man.
I just think it just makes too much sense. And George Mendes, right, during the summer, right, you know, his agency obviously controls like 80% of Portuguese players. What's it called? Gestufie, something like that, right? Obviously, the Fabio Vieira deal to Arsenal happened.
Oh.
George Mendes played a massive part in that, and people say, listen, it was a bit of a favor. You get Fabio Vieira now, later I might do something with you, and then of course if your competition's with Man United. And with George Mendes recently, Ronaldo, it's been an issue, right? With United. He's had issues in the past with United, I'd imagine. So, and to be fair, I think, as I said, I think Arsenal just suits Felix more anyway. So if we're in for him, which I believe, the deal's correct. Yeah. It just makes too much sense. It's one of those ones.
It could make an interesting, you know, because I think he's ready to go because he hasn't played much at Atletico. He's played in the World Cup, so fitness wise he'd be ready to go. Obviously the pace of the Premier League would be a little bit take time a bit to get adjusted to, but he could, man. Something to look forward to, you guys, man. I'm telling you, maybe it's not so doom and gloom with the injury to Gabriel Jesus and whatnot.
If you sign a player, it could be a blessing in disguise, as they say.
Interesting. We've got probably our last caller of the day, I think. Unless someone else comes in the next 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to make this probably the last call of the day. Ahmed, very welcome, my friend. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine, great. I am fine, Grizz. Huge shout out to Bilal and Grizz, obviously to you for wonderful content. Best channel, obviously, for the Liverpool and across the Premier League as well. So big up to both of you. And from my side, I would wish Merry Christmas to all of you, whoever would be celebrating all across the globe. So I have prepared some talking points so that I keep it short and sweet. Firstly, if you remember the season in which Leicester won the title, don't you think it is a certain case for Newcastle to gate crash into the top two? I do get City are much heavier than the that specific, like it was an anomaly, you can say, in last decade or so. So is Newcastle system sustainable along if they can add 1 or 2 more signing? That is my first talking point. And Grizz, regarding the Liverpool, I am okay with Darwin Nunez so far. I had doubts over his signing. Not his fee, but the player profile, I would say, which I like to associate with Liverpool or Jurgen Klopp. But I am okay with, comfortable with it. Yes, he missed it. Should not be happening frequently over the season or in more crucial games, but still I am okay. I wanted to be focused more, you or asked you about the Calvin Ramsey debate. He was highly thought of, but why didn't he started against Man City? Trent was not available. Okay. Why did Millie start when he had fitness issues as well? So I didn't get when he was supposed to sign, supposed as a deputy of Trent Alexander-Arnold. We keep going back to Milner. Was it big game mentality, Jurgen Klopp? And if so, why didn't we go all up front? It was like more realistic chance of us winning the trophy through that transition season. And lastly, regarding the Bilal Arsenal, I really wish you best of luck if we are not in the race. So you are the team to support. And I really think if you guys do get Joao Felix, I am huge fan of him since his Athletic Madrid days or wherever he was. I am huge fan of him. and his Portugal performance in the World Cup has like, he's a real baller. I really love this sort of footballer. So I do really think you have got the right mentality. You have shown every test you have been asked about. You have passed it with great like power and might. So I do really think if you do get Joao Felix, considering you are more stable defensively in the as compared to Manchester City, they have been. I do really think you would have a really shout out. So Newcastle first, Calvin Ramsey debate second, and Joao Felix point. You have discussed it. I have watched whole show. I am speaking all the way from Thailand. My second showing here. So again, huge thanks to you, Grizz. Stage is yours now, I would say.
First and foremost, thank you for the kind words. You're an absolute gentleman. Appreciate your support and love. I'm going to let Bilal answer the Arsenal question, and then we're going to end it with the 2 Liverpool-based questions, if you don't mind. Go on, Bilal, the Arsenal question.
Yeah, no, if Arsenal, of course, if we can get Joao Felix, I think he's a signing that just makes sense. It doesn't cost too much money to get him in on loan. Try before you buy, as they like to say, 6 months deal. I think it's a good idea, right? And then when Jesus comes back, you just have more options as well. And Ketia is still around. And yeah, I think it's just a good signing. It just makes sense and would suit the way we play. I think that's the most thing. You're signing a player that would suit the system, right? It's not your signing, let's say, I know some people said, okay, even I saw someone say Mitrovic the other day, sign a target man type player to come and offer something different. But Arsenal haven't been playing in that way for a really long time. Ever since Giroud left, we haven't really had a target man, so to speak of. So yeah, for me, Felix, 100%. We can get him in, do the deal as soon as possible, and yeah, I'd like to see that happen. But I think the question you asked was interesting about Newcastle, right? And if they can maybe gate crash the top 2 even. I think that's going to be a bit too early for them this season, but I think they can definitely cement that 3rd place. 100%. They've got 1 game a week. They're going deep in the Carabao Cup already. I can see them winning the Carabao Cup. I'm not going to lie. The way Newcastle play, they haven't won a trophy for God knows how long. It's maybe even more than 40 years. I don't even know when Newcastle last won a trophy. But yeah, they could pick up a trophy this season, and we could see them doing something special. In terms of the transfer market, FFP, it seems to be good because Mike Ashley never spent that much money for all the years he owned the club. If they get Champions League football on top of that as well, they're not going anywhere, right? Newcastle will probably always be in the top 4, and they're going to be another superpower in the Premier League. That's the way I see it.
So very quickly on the Newcastle, mate, they're in a position that they can strengthen in January. I think they're absolutely as good as, I think their first 11, apart from Man City. I think it's pretty much good as Man City and Liverpool aside. I think it's pretty much as good as anyone's. I think they're definitely on a level playing field, and they're only going to get better. They're only going to get stronger. They're only going to get more squad depth as well. So yeah, I agree with you in terms of the Newcastle one. With the Liverpool scenario, what was the 2 questions? Was it one? The Trent question, wasn't it? Was it the Trent question?
Calvin Ramsey, I think that was.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Calvin Ramsey. Yeah, Trent. Sorry. Yeah, it's quite simple, Ahmed. Calvin Ramsey is bought for the long term. Don't have any doubts about Calvin Ramsey. I think he's a special footballer. I don't often say about the kids. I said something on Twitter the other day, and the Liverpool fan base came for me because I said I don't see many talents apart from Doak, Elliott, Carvalho, and Ramsey. This guy is a special footballer. He's going to be very, very good for Liverpool. No need to panic and worry why wasn't he picked and selected. He's been ill. There's been an illness throughout the Liverpool camp, so he's been ill. That's all it's down to. He wasn't ready. He hasn't been training fully as well. He's missed a lot of training sessions. He missed the last pre-season friendly. And Milner's there to cover and cover and do a job whilst we develop Ramsey and Trent gets enough rest not to look shattered like he has. So look, long-term wise, I know everyone's eager to see Calvin Ramsey and why we bought him. Trust me, we're going to see enough of him and we're going to be very happy with Calvin Ramsey. He's got the talent and the mentality, from what I've heard, to reach the right top. He's an absolute gem. So it was just a case of he's been ill. Was there another Liverpool-based question, Ahmed? Go for it. Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, I am pretty much done with my thesis questions, but just to add up on the Trent and Calvin Ramsey situation, long term, obviously, not short term. When you have seen like Calvin Ramsey fit into the system of Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp getting into the full face of it, do you see Trent moving into the midfield? Like there has been a slight debate. I am not fan of that debate for now, but when Calvin Ramsey is proper fit into the Jurgen Klopp, can you see Trent moving into the midfield because he has to play and he's a generation player? I still feel when he has a right system and right player to protect and maximize his capabilities, he is a frightening player to face. So where do you stand in that debate regarding the long term?
Oh, this debate, I don't see Trent playing in midfield for Liverpool. I just don't see it. I don't see it, especially under Jurgen Klopp. I think Trent's skill set is suited to someone from a deeper position like Trent operates from and starts from. I don't think Trent has got the dynamism in his game to play in a Klopp midfield the way Klopp wants his midfielders to play. So, for example, let's say Jude Bellingham compared to the way he plays the game, driving forward with the ball, aggressive. I don't think Trent's got that in his game. So personally, I don't think Trent will ever play for Jurgen Klopp in a central midfield long term. He may play the odd game here and there. I don't see it. There may be a different type of role for him. I don't know what you think, Bilal, if you want to end.
You know what? It's interesting because like right back to the number 6 position, you know, like the conversion happens a lot sometimes where like a player's a right back, like Fabinho was playing right back a lot of the time, became a number 6. You know, maybe Trent could be one of those players where even Thomas Partey before Arsenal, before he was even at Atleti, I think he was on loan or it was another Spanish club. He was playing at right back a lot of the times as well. So there is that link between those two positions. So maybe we could see Trent in the future. If Calvin Ramsey really comes on. I've only seen a few clips of him, and he looks like Trent. You know, plays like Trent in terms of the crosses, the deliveries, like a very similar type of player. So maybe we could see Trent become a number 6. You never know, because if he can control the ball midfield, he's got the passing range, he's got the intelligence, he's got the positional awareness. He just needs to maybe translate.
Has he? That last thing that you said about the positional awareness.
I think he could definitely get that if you give him minutes in that position. I think that conversion could happen if you want Calvin Ramsey to be the number 1 right back. If you want Calvin Ramsey to be a rotation option, you want to use Trent the way, you know, he's been used in the past, coming sometimes overlapping. I think a lot of this season, this time is becoming inside, you know, and Salah's been made to play like a touchline. You know, like a touchline winger. Obviously, when Salah's come inside one of the recent games, I think he scored a couple of goals. And it's like, yeah, Salah closer to the goal makes sense because he's just a deadly finisher. One touch, quick short backlift goal, you know. But with Trent, yeah, maybe in the number 6 in the future, as he gets older, it could be something that could happen. You never know.
Something to keep an eye on. Ahmed, we must wrap it up, my brother. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. All the season's greetings to you and your family.
Thank you, and best of luck for the next year on your channel as well. All the best.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Bilal. Thank you, Grizz. Goodbye.
Take care. Thank you, guys. Guys, please smash a like on your way out if you haven't already. We're gonna round it up now. Again, another 3-hour stream. That boy, you know, look, there's some streams that you think, oh man, this is gonna be so hard to get. Bro, this one never disappoints. I didn't even notice that, man. I'm telling you now. 3 hours, bang.
It's mad. It's like this is like I'm pretty sure this is the longest stream you do a week.
Yeah,
it's always the one that goes kind of
the quickest.
Yeah.
It's like the coolest, like they all like, and that's what I like about the community we've built up on here, man. They're all respectful, majority of them. You're always going to get 1 or 2 think that they can speak to anyone and how they feel like. Wrong channel, man. Go to another channel. And you know, the etiquettes of the host or the channel is always shown by the people in the chat. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
The mannerisms, the respect of the people on a channel is always shown by the people in the chat. And that's why I love my chat people. So much respect. the way they go about themselves. Big up yourselves. Is there any questions or points that we've forgotten? Let me check. Okay, there was one super chat. Sorry. Liverpool's 12th man says difference between development and appeal of Real and LFC Academy.
Maybe that's about Endrick going to Real Madrid, because I think it might be related to that. And I think you said Liverpool tried to sign Endrick last year, but obviously everyone in that.
Now, look, we know
Brazilian.
We know Brazilian players. They have an affection for Spain and Real Madrid or Barcelona. It's the way it is, man. It's all the way it is. This is what he follows up. He says, as in, can you give me some insight beyond Real being a dream destination for so many wonder kids as opposed to LFC, not only in Europe, but especially from South America, despite us having stars from there? I've just kind of given my opinion and insight onto it. It's just the way it is. They grow up a lot of football that's probably played on their screens. They're heroes, predecessors, icons, heroes that they worship. When I say worship, as from a footballing point of view, they look up to, have been from Real Madrid and Barcelona. And so therefore, if you've got someone that you aspire to be, and then you see the shirt they're wearing, automatically you're led to wanting to be that guy. You know, that's the way to look about it.
I think I watched something interesting recently, right? Just on that point, it was like about the Brazilians and obviously how they love Real Madrid and Barca because that's what they see when they're watching TV and they're seeing all the Brazilian players. But as of late, recent years, a lot of these young players as well, the Premier League is obviously becoming...
It's changing. Of course it's changing.
The game a little
100%.
bit.
And so the thing is, when you see people like Luis Suarez, South Americans, Gabriel Jesus, Aguero, hopefully Nunez, these kind of people that make a name for themselves then the next generation of youngsters will be more appealed, will be more wanting to come to the Premier League. So Sushan sends in a super chat and he says, we're just about to join, but for next time. Yeah, man. Most welcome for next time. We're going to wrap it up now because I wanted to go and watch. I haven't even watched a Christmas movie. Man, how can you not watch a Christmas movie on Christmas Eve? Have you got any plans now to watch a Christmas movie? Are you into that?
What time is it? It's like Christmas.
There's always a Christmas movie on, no?
Yeah, if it'll be on TV. If I see one on TV, I'm doing nothing.
What's your favorite?
Do I have a favorite? I've not got a favorite at all.
Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie or not?
I've seen people saying they're watching Home Alone a lot recently. Yeah, that seems to be. I don't know why people be watching how many times. Like you watching it every year. Like what's going on?
I people do that shit.
People watching the same. One of my mates went to the cinema to watch it. I was like, what's
no, that's wild.
I don't know, man. Some people do what you want. You know what I like during Christmas? Like a little Harry Potter, mate. They put Harry Potter films on the TV.
Nice, relax. Yeah. Big enjoyment. I like that.
I can watch the Harry Potter films. I just love it. Just sit back and enjoy, man.
I like it. Well, we're gonna have Christmas Day tomorrow. I'm sure plenty of families getting together. Stay safe, stay blessed. Don't forget the less fortunate. Always forget, you know, how always be grateful for what we have. Always be in remembrance of the less fortunate. Charity is so important. We can make a difference, man. We can make a difference.
Especially
absolutely.
Especially been tough for a lot of people, man. So yeah, big up to anyone who's maybe getting through by the grit of their teeth or just hanging on. But yeah, keep at it because as I said, this year has been tough. I know.
100%.
Even the things you see on the street sometimes, like wow, what's going on?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Listen, guys, this has been the Kall Khan show. Season's greetings to all. We'll have a day off tomorrow. Back with a bang on Monday. Possible RedFellas doing the post match. That's something to look forward to. Hopefully 3 points for Liverpool. Are you playing on Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, well, I think I have the fixtures. If you just want to look at them quickly, then
very quickly.
Yeah, just like literally brief seconds. I've just look at them here. It's a full day of football, obviously Boxing Day.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm waiting for.
Mad. Whoa, we're going to be there's going to be loads of talking points.
Is it going to be another 7-2 Villa?
Yeah. We're not going to end on that shit. People, Kall Khan, me and Bilal, take it easy. We out.